Hello, 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 everybody.
What
Sound
up?
check, sound check. Oh, now y'all want to get quiet. Sound
Mic
check,
check,
sound
mic
check.
check, one, two, and
Mic check.
Okay,
mic
okay, all
check.
right.
I mean, we
All
did
right.
just get yelled at though, so
Yeah.
Who? I didn't yell at nobody. Did I? I was just trying to say nobody go live. Want y'all to... Okay, yeah, we sound good.
Cool.
Yeah, we sound good. Let's make sure we sound good. Let's make sure we sound good. All right. So, let's keep that same energy, everybody. Oh, here we go. I think he's trying to hop in. Crit. I'm gonna wait till you get on camera. All right. So anyway,
Okay.
how y'all doing?
the guy, hold on. The guy that's staying off camera gonna wait till somebody else come on camera to put.
I know it's crazy, right? But I don't, I think he gonna be on camera. So yeah, fuck it. I'll just throw him in here then. How about that? There he is. He's there.
There we go.
All right.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My bad. My camera isn't working for some reason.
Oh, you good?
Are we talking to a ghost? What the heck?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm apologize right now. I did not know you were gonna be here, so I didn't tag you on my post. I'm so sorry. Brogi didn't give me the memo.
I forgot. I mean, it was kind of last minute. He was like, "Yo, you still going out?" Yeah, hop in. So it's
Yeah, I was supposed to be at my cousin's birthday party, but I decided to give him a
Thanks
little
for hanging
pass.
with us.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what's up. What's the word, everyone?
Nothing much, man.
Green apparently today.
Oh yeah, green. That's
green,
exactly the word.
and there's two words. It's
Oh,
green,
wow.
green and wet. We gonna just go
Yeah,
ahead and start
yeah.
it off
Thanks,
right
thanks, Alex. Thanks, Alex. All right. So yeah, you see what type of time we're gonna be on. What type of time we're gonna be on today? So
was critical in that episode.
I don't remember if he was.
He was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Was he?
I wasn't. I'm the only one that wasn't on the episode. I was in the chat though.
That's right. You was in the chat. Okay,
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun.
We got to clip this together later, Alex.
We'll definitely.
Your reactions. All right, so we're gonna get into it. We'll be talking about the recent Disney Plus series She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Don't forget to like this stream and subscribe to the channel. We got some full panel here. Got some great guests here. I'm gonna start with my boy Ian. He finally coming back to the channel. How you doing, Ian?
Hey, what it do, Dab Turkeys? Glad to be back. I love talking this nerdy shit with y'all, and I have a lot to say about this show. Good, mostly bad, but I got a good righteousness and classiness review of it. So good. Right. Can't wait to talk about it with y'all.
Clean it up. There you go. I know it's about to get real ignorant.
This is. I apologize for nothing. Yeah.
Right. All the views, everyone's views, and deal with them. So that's just y'all in the playback. Just got to deal with it. Y'all come in here crying in the comments. I don't care. If you put paragraphs in the comics, I'm not reading them. I'm not reading them.
A dissertation.
There's a whole dissertation.
Dissertation.
I'm not listening. Not reading. All right. We'll go to AK Hulk Attorney at Law. AK, how you doing?
Hey. It's been a while since I've been here with you fellas. So I'm glad I was able to make it. Appreciate the invite, Brogi. And it's always a good time talking to Critical, Alex, and Ian. Thank y'all for having me. Yes, and me and my shenanigans, I'll say, because you know where I'm about to go with all this.
Oh, yeah. We got Alex from Momentum Media. What's up, man?
What's up, you guys? So glad to be back, man. Had a good time last time I was here. I'm sorry I was late last time. I had to deal with a situation in Wakanda, but I'm back now. Definitely heading back there as soon as I get off of this panel. But man, it's always fun linking up with you guys. So I can't wait to jump into this show. I got a lot of funny and good things to say about this show, so I can't wait to jump into it.
Good. And got my man Critical Blue.
What's the word? What's the word?
Late minute edition. Come on, bro.
Huh?
I said late minute edition, but come through, bro.
Yeah, I do. My bad, man. But my bad. I can't show my face. But hey, I'm gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, give all of my feelings, put all my feelings in this, and what I thought, you know what I'm saying, about this series. And some people might like it, some people may not. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I haven't talked to you about the show. So I don't know which way you coming at this one, but yeah. Once again, I like the stream. I like the stream. Subscribe and check out everyone. Everybody's links will be in the description. So I'm gonna go full spoilers on this one, but let's get general feelings on the show. I'm gonna start with Ian. Your general thoughts of the series, all 9 episodes of She-Hulk Attorney at Law.
All right, I'll try to make it brief because I know there's a lot I could say. I do think it's great casting. I think I do like the actress. I do think she did the best she could. I do think She-Hulk looked amazing. I think I like 3 out of how many episodes was it? Like 7?
It was 9. It was
9.
9.
Very forgettable, right? So I think I like 3 of them. 3 of them were really good, especially like the first one and the one with Matt Murdock, like the second to last one. Yeah. 8 was dope. And that one that she went meditation with Polanski was pretty good too.
Interesting. Okay.
I like that one. Other than that though, yeah, this show is pretty dookie. But but I'm interested in the character. I want to see more of the character. You could keep the fourth wall bullshit. You can keep I do like her chemistry with Matt Murdock. I thought that worked. I think I would like to see more of that relationship. Other than that, though, man, I just don't. I think the writers were having off days through the whole series. I don't know. I would have did it better. I'm not a big She-Hulk comic book fan. Anyway, I do know she breaks the fourth wall, but like it was when Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. I think it's funny when she does it. For some reason, it just took me out of the show, and I don't like to be taken out of the show. I want to feel like I'm in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not naked on my couch. So,
okay. All right.
That's how I felt about it. It's probably one of my least favorite Disney Plus shows, but it's not the worst Marvel product. I still think it's better than the Eternals.
Damn! Oh, I don't appreciate the Eternals hate, but okay.
As a series or just in general?
In general. As an MCU project, I think that the Eternals is still the worst. I do like it.
Wow.
But I do think I do think Hawkeye was better than this. I do think.
I meant better than the Eternals.
Oh no, I think Hawkeye was better than the Eternals as well. Yeah, I just think I think the Eternals is just pointless and didn't make any goddamn sense.
I low-key love the Eternals. Anyway, Alex, general thoughts on She-Hulk.
So generally, because I know we're gonna dive deep into it, there were some episodes that I had a lot of fun with. Definitely the first episode, I think I had the most fun with, aside from the Daredevil episode. Seeing Daredevil pop up on screen, which I know we'll dive deep into, was like, I guess, the highlight of the show. And honestly, I would say it wasn't as funny as it portrayed it itself to be.
We'll
and then also, like, I didn't like Ian. I didn't read a lot of She-Hulk comic books, but her and Deadpool share the same fourth wall breaking to a certain extent, and hers, like Ian said, it kind of took me out of the show, especially that last episode. It just took me out of the show because the MCU is, yes, it's funny, but if you're gonna do fourth wall breaking within the MCU, at least acknowledge the fact that all of this shit is fake. And when she broke the fourth wall, she's not acknowledging herself as the actor. She's acknowledging herself as
the character.
The character.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
Very aware that he's playing Deadpool. You see, there was a big difference in the fourth wall breaking between those two characters. Like Ryan Reynolds is very aware he's acting in a movie.
Yeah, and he's playing
versus Jennifer Walters, who's acting in a TV show as herself. So it was kind of very confusing to watch. But overall, I will say it was not the best Disney Plus show. I did like it more than Hawkeye, but it's literally like Hawkeye's the worst, and then there's She-Hulk for me.
Okay, all right.
To a degree, I like
Hawkeye and the Turtles are just catching strays right now. Okay.
No, I like the Turtles better than She-Hulk, but to Ian's point, I will agree. I don't see what that movie had to do with the MCU at all. But
it was timing and putting it out.
Yeah, and I do think a lot of that, and to the MCU's credit, the pandemic kind of fucked up the timeline a little bit. So where that movie placed, I have no idea. I have no idea what that has to do with the MCU. So, but as a series, it was okay, not the best, but it's above Hawkeye for me.
And Brogi, I wanted to make one more point. I love the message of like, all the incels and the toxic fandom.
Yeah,
I agree
clean it
with
up, clean it up, clean it up.
I agree
Yeah,
with every message that they were talking about, but that doesn't stop the terrible screenwriting. That's
Okay.
you can't just be like, hey, bad people are bad and good people are good.
Right.
Okay, I get it, but where's the story? Okay, so that's all I had to say right there. Yeah.
No, we on the same level. AK, thoughts on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law?
Yeah, I love absolutely everything about this show. Said AK.
There you go.
Never. Not ever.
Oh,
yeah. So I was about to say, you really thought
right,
that was the assessment? Nah. No, I did enjoy many elements of this show. And actually to what Ian was just saying, my favorite thing about it was actually pointing out all of the ridiculousness that women do have to freaking deal with. And that's not always something that everyone thinks about. Like, it's if you say this or this or that in a random setting, you're the angry black girl in the office, or it's just all of the many levels of things that different sets of women have to go through to make it in the corporate world, or really in any form of business setting at all. And they were very good at showing that, especially with the character of Mallory. And that
I liked her.
That parallel with that, and also with Nikki. Nikki is a real one. That's my girl. I think a lot of the episodes streamed pretty decently.
Hubba.
Let's see, episode 1 was
did there.
Great episode. Okay, see, Alex, we right here. We right here always.
Y'all terrible.
I just always love being on a chat with Alex, because we just always vibe like that. But altogether, everything that this show did, I don't think they hit all the markers they necessarily were going for, because some of the things, even I was looking at it like, yo, Jen, no. Like, and when I reviewed the show, I did it with 2 guys. So we're able to, properly give both perspectives. And I did have to get them hip to some things sometimes that, dudes don't always think about. So the show was good, again, in highlighting some of those things. But I think they wrote themselves into ridiculous corners that could have easily been avoidable. There are problematic situations and things that happened that I did not like. I think arguably the show maybe could have been an episode or 2 shorter than it actually was. And some of the character development that happened should have been a bit more. And I do agree, that whole last sequence with the fourth wall break, like, She-Hulk was the first one in the comics to actually do a fourth wall break. Her character originated that. Did they handle it decently here? I would give them maybe a 79.9% on that. I don't think they hit all the markers they should have, especially with that final sequence. There were some funny things, but the overall, that could have been left out, and something else could have been in that 15-20 minute section. But altogether, I give the show maybe a C-. When you hit, but those misses, they were pretty tough too.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, Craig Cal.
Yes, sir.
Initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts. I felt like the show was cool. I actually came out somewhat liking the show, but there were certain things I was just kind of like, all right, man, they just don't understand men. Like, I just didn't understand, like, no man wants to be carried around by a woman, by anybody. No man wants to be picked up. None of that stuff.
I didn't mind that part. I had no problem with that.
That man that was in that scene would disagree with you, though. He loved that.
I fucking hate that character, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
pineapple.
But
pineapples.
He was an honest character, though. Out of all the dudes that came on the stand, we'll get into it later. I mean to interrupt you, Critical, but he out of all of them was the most honest.
I guess.
And I get it.
He was. He had a type. Shit.
Exactly.
True. And I get it
Can't
that
fault him.
see men as slobs. No man is going to sleep with a woman with vomit in her hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're going to have to wash your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And then who wouldn't date Jennifer Walters? Nobody's not going to wait for her to turn green for them to date her. Like, that is like, she would be having all types of messages unless they had it set up to where she was getting a whole bunch of messages, and those are the ones that she liked out of the large group. Cool. But it made it seem like nobody was interested in her, and I was just like, "That's
so
terrible.
baffled."
That was stupid.
I was so baffled.
Did you see her legs? Come on,
that was ridiculous.
Tatiana Maslany is not an unattractive person by any means.
For sure. Before the show, I was even saying both of them are fine. I like She-Hulk looks good, and the actress looks good. Right?
I don't know what propaganda they was trying to pull with that one, but they needed to hire someone else in the Jennifer Walters role, because that made no fucking sense.
Right.
Especially she being a lawyer. She got money. So you tell her to be a attractive woman with money, ain't got nobody trying to
got money, got her own house, can pay her own bills, and balling just left and right. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah. And she's fun size too. You could just throw it around. And...
I'm saying, and you know, I have a thing with curves.
Yep.
She don't got a whole lot of back. She-Hulk, she got that covered, but Jen, she has one that's proportionate to her size, so I'm good with that. Like everything is hitting. I don't understand how they were trying to build Jen as unattractive.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Maybe that's a self-esteem they were trying to go into it. And that was like a subliminal situation. I don't know.
I do agree with that, but it was overkill.
Yeah, it was overkill. Yeah, thank you. It was definitely overkill. I'm like, all right, how many times we gonna keep this up? Like, this is not hitting like y'all think it's hitting. I don't know what y'all thought in the writing room, but like, no one is agreeing with this unless they're assholes. But other than that, that didn't make sense. Anything else critical before we?
I agree. I did like the incel bit. I thought that was pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Because it is a group of people that think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the whole social media, situation.
Bro.
I didn't understand what happened to the Asian dude though. Like the one that I guess that.
Oh, the guy that was like, that was an antagonist, and then they just completely dropped it. Oh,
yeah. Oh, I know what happened whenever they had that meeting. He was scared to come back. He was scared because he know he fucked up.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing he wasn't at that meeting because we saw what she did to Todd. And he would have deserved. He deserves all those hands.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, that was for me though.
Yeah, I pretty much I was not expecting it to be fucking someone circle everybody agreeing, because everything y'all guys said is exactly how I was feeling about this fucking show. I thought at least somebody was gonna be like a big super fan. God damn.
And I was rooting for it.
I love the quirkiness of it. The quirkiness was hitting, but when they were off, they were way off.
I mean, so the first episode, because that's when things, it started off with a huge backlash at the first episode, which I thought was a solid episode. I thought it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. I had some issues with, especially going back and rewatching it. But like the amount of people like losing their shit off of the first episode, I thought was a bit overblown. But as the show, but as the show kept going on, and the show was kind of predicting, knowing how people would react, it's like, okay, that's cool, but could you be better? If you know the reaction you're going to get from your shitty writing, try to make the writing better. Mm-hmm. And then when we get to the finale, where they literally have a whole scene with the writing staff, well, some of the writing staff, and they're like, oh, yeah, the show's trash, but and the characters like make the writing better. I'm like, yeah, just make it better. And instead, we just wish away and we just get the ending that just conveniently happens. I thought was kind of lazy and kind of not good. Now, granted, she's done it before in the comics. That's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like, well, it was in the comics. It's like, yeah, but was it good? Or could you at least make it as good? You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But overall, it was kind of I will say, I know you're going to hate this critical. I'd still like it more than Moon Knight. I still like it more than Moon Knight. Moon Knight's at the bottom.
I like Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's at the bottom.
Moon Knight's at the goddamn bottom. Moon Knight's at the goddamn bottom.
Worse than Hawkeye?
Mind you, this is the same person who loves Hawkeye, who believed that Kate Bishop could whoop Kingpin's ass.
She's got gadgets. We done had this conversation, Alex.
Not at that point that she was. No.
So I got Hawkeye slightly above. I got Hawkeye that's right above She-Hulk, but I got Moon Knight at the bottom.
So you like She-Hulk better than Hawkeye? You like She-Hulk better than Moon Knight?
No.
What about the Eternals? I got to know this answer. The Eternals.
Oh, Eternals is like my favorite thing from Phase 4 so far, outside of Spider-Man.
Give this guy a bad review on
Spider-Man
Yelp.
is good.
Terrible.
Huh?
You didn't like Shang-Chi? I think Shang-Chi.
No, Shang-Chi's dope, but I will say
fire.
this. I've watched Eternals 3 times. I watched Shang-Chi once and a half. I tried to watch it the second time, and I just didn't have the time.
Wow.
So I like Eternals more. I like Eternals more.
Friendship right
Fucking
now,
sue me. I'm sorry. They tried to do something different. I didn't care about the movie, but I watched it. And I was like, hey, this ain't that bad. This is the best Justice League movie we've had since ever. So that's how I feel about Eternals. Anyway, watch my review. I break it down. But anyway. Anyway, I'm just saying. They tried something different. Does it fit in the MCU? Kind of not, but it is something different. I kind of count it as a what if.
It's not canon in my head.
Eternals is just a big ass what if at this point.
Eternals, they released Eternals at the wrong time. And we know that the years are definitely off. We know that it should have been in the timeline. It happens a lot earlier.
Well, they mentioned it in She-Hulk
in things, but
a little bit,
this whole phase has been, I think, a bit choppily put together. But I think it was Alex that said it earlier. You know, they had to deal with the pandemic and getting things filmed and out and produced with a lot to deal with, because that you can't just not do stuff, but you can't get a whole bunch of people together in the middle of a pandemic to do the things that you were able to do before. So I give them a little leeway there. I don't know.
Well, we finishing up with Black Panther by the end of the year, so we're moving into Phase 5. So
fingers crossed with Black Panther for sure.
Fingers crossed. # recast T'Challa.
Yeah,
we got the whole multiverse open
years.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, it don't got to be our T'Challa, but you can still bring a T'Challa.
It needs T'Challa, please.
Thanks a lot, Loki.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot. No. Thanks a lot, Kane.
People are not realizing.
You're right.
Enough people are not realizing who the real problem is. Who the real problem child is that started all this stuff, but that's a whole other stream altogether.
Real talk,
so,
yeah.
Kind of knows. So that was I think the first episode I thought was a bit overblown, but I will say as the show kept going on, it's like, okay, you're kind of giving people ammo to shoot at you now. You're not dodging as many bullets. You're kind of shooting yourself to a degree. It's like you could
can I
tighten this up a little bit. Yeah.
One small thing though for that first episode. I really, really, really just did want to give a shout out to all the 80s kids that know who Cousin Larry and Cousin Balky are, because Cousin Larry is Jen's dad. And
is that who that guy is? I did not recognize that.
From Perfect Strangers, yeah.
Okay.
That was Cousin Larry.
I did not recognize him. I thought I thought he sucked.
Right, you look at him and you look at Bronson Pinchot now, like, bro, what happened to you, Cousin Larry? Like Bronson still looked like Bronson.
Right.
Oh, okay. I figured he was someone familiar, but I did not recognize that guy. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? But anyway. All right.
Yes, that was Cousin Larry.
Yeah,
if you don't know what Perfect Strangers is, y'all go and check that out. Perfect Strangers is the reason that we got Family Matters. If y'all didn't know, Family Matters was a spinoff of that show.
Was that the spinoff? Okay.
Yeah, it was Harriet.
Harriet, she was the mailman.
Okay.
All right, but the amount of people I just saw crying about this show was a bit ridiculous. And the sad part is, in the show when they were joking about it, it was literally the shit that they were saying. Like, they were saying the exact same shit that they were saying in the show.
That website,
which was funny.
I guarantee you somebody made that website, and that's where they all at right now.
Marvel's very aware. Like their writers are they know the greatest hits when it comes to these people.
Low key, I gotta say that was pretty funny. They took the Hulk's manhood away.
They demasked. How did they take the Hulk's manhood away?
That was funny.
Weren't you assholes mad at the Hulk when he destroyed half of Harlem?
We
and
got
went and destroyed half of Nigeria. But now,
that was
now
hilarious,
you're a fan because he got his cousin out here.
Listen, but I mean, like, even if you watch, like, I think that the outrage was ridiculous and stupid, but like, even when you watch it where there's someone's critiquing where that scene where She-Hulk throws the rock further than the Hulk. Well, the Hulk just did this.
Yeah.
She had
Then he launched
Yeah.
into
Back.
space. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
then
agree,
he said,
Alex. That's a reach.
I'm gonna launch that shit into space then. Now
Yeah.
what?
Exactly.
Where was the
He was
issue?
trying. He'd been the Hulk for a
Exactly.
while. He's just doing his thing.
Exactly.
He was pulling his punches that whole time.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like she could remember. She couldn't even do the clap. Like it was just.
Like it took her a while to build up to getting
exactly. So I don't really understand this outrage of we're replacing our major characters with female characters. Like it's just. I think it's just little dick energy. If I'm being honest.
Facts. And he's conscious too. It's not like he's the real Hulk. It's not like he's the real Hulk that would actually.
He's a more evolved Hulk. So he's not
even that.
He's
the more involved Hulk, but also for those of us that know the source material, we know what's coming. If y'all think you fans of Hulk now, I mean, and I'm talking like in-universe people, all these incels that are coming out championing Hulk, they're going to be the first ones to run scared and talk about how horrific he is when he really gets pissed off.
Right.
I hope that's coming.
Fuck all of you.
I hope that's coming though.
The way they're going to go about doing it, I think, is going to be different. But they're slowly working into that. You can see the breadcrumbs for it already.
I see the breadcrumbs, but I think it's more so a misdirect because the same thing we're saying about Hulk is the same thing we kind of said about Scarlet Witch. Which we didn't really see that pan out that much.
Okay,
especially going into Doctor Strange.
I think that could still be a thing that happens. Though we don't have all the elements for what was going on in that story yet.
That's true. Because like Kevin Feige did say that she's not dead. She'll be back.
Right? Yeah, she definitely.
Who really thought? Did anybody really?
If you thought she was dead, you ridiculous.
No.
Like you don't know the MCU if you thought she was dead.
Right.
So I just don't understand why the MCU doesn't know how to write Hulk correctly. I feel like I agree with you.
They got to nerf him because they can't make his movies.
It's Universal.
It's Universal. That's nerfing it right now. I do hear that there is a permanent fix in the works, but that's been like for the past 2 years. So
they might be getting it back because now we're starting to see all this Hulk stuff. Like this ended with his son coming in. We know the leader is going to be in Captain America. There was a rumor they might be doing a World War Hulk Disney Plus series. I don't know if that's the case though. So it could be a movie.
They can't do that unless Universal.
Right. I don't think they can
release the rights.
They can't do the series or like a movie on Disney Plus with just the Hulk. Now, if it was She-Hulk, then yes, because they don't own She-Hulk.
Yeah, because they don't own She-Hulk, but
they own the distribution
distribution rights. Yeah.
And my fingers are still crossed that they'll put Belansky in the Thunderbolts. I mean, I think they did announce the cast. They did announce the cast, but it's not over with.
Does anyone think he won't? I think he's definitely going to be a part of the
I think he's
the way this ended, because this series is before WandaVision, and I don't get what is the strange obsession with Wong and Emil Blonsky. I don't know what deal is.
How do you not get what?
I don't get it. What is the connection? What's the connection between Wong and Abomination?
Well, I can't explain that connection, but I just think what they're doing with Wong in particular, they're kind of making him the Nick Fury, the guy that just pops up everywhere.
Low-key.
We need that. We need that though.
Right. I don't think he's going to be the Nick Fury. This is what I think why they keep putting Wong in a lot of projects. I think they are setting us up to love Wong so they can kill him in one of these Avengers movies.
That's always the goal, though. So
I could see that. Yeah,
they want us to love him, and then when they kill him, not my Wong.
I can see that.
Who doesn't love Wong though?
But like I said, this takes place before Multiverse of Madness, and he goes with Wong to Karmatage. So if this is the case, where the fuck was he when Scarlet Witch went in there and wrecked that shit? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
where the hell was Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I'm assuming he's on the run and he might get captured again, and that might lead into Thunderbolts. But I don't know.
Who would he have to run from?
Scarlet Witch.
Where
he was at Karmatage. So I'm thinking if he was there when that happened, maybe he escaped. And now he's like kind of on the run.
So She-Hulk takes place before Doctor Strange, right? That's how I took.
I'm assuming it takes place before Multiverse of Madness because it's definitely after Shang-Chi.
After Shang-Chi.
Yeah, it's after Shang-Chi.
After Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I think it's around somewhere around the same time. I don't think it's exactly before. Like maybe it starts a little bit before, but those events are happening over in that other part of the world while things are going on.
With the fact that Wong is chilling and watching a bunch of fucking cable, I'm assuming the place didn't get attacked yet.
Go ahead, Wong.
He didn't seem stressed, so I'm assuming this is before all that shit went to hell. So
I thought it was either before or
awesome
after.
This young lady is as a
I
side
fucking
character,
hated.
though.
I fucking hated this character.
I gotta agree, bro.
I didn't find any of that.
Wong
I didn't find
needed
any of it funny.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I did want to ask this question though. There was in the Doctor Strange of Madness, there was a black woman that was supposed to be his love interest. Did y'all talk about that already? Because I had to take a
that homegirl that was in the Woman King.
Yeah,
really? I didn't know she was.
I
didn't know she was.
Let me look her up. Let me look her up.
I know you're talking about.
because that was supposed to be his love interest, but they cut that from Doctor Strange. But they added her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree with Brogi though. I feel like I don't know. I think that they thought this was funnier than it was. The internet had their stuff, but I didn't.
Somebody liked it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there stone faced.
Her name is Sheila Team.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the talk chick. Yeah, she was. I liked her. That explains why she was in the movie because she had some scenes and then she was just gone.
She had a very small part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed like they wanted us to know who that was, but yeah, they cut some scenes.
Yeah, I did not know she was supposed to be a love interest. Okay, that makes a lot.
They cut that part of the storyline.
Yeah. Now back with the Hulk. The one thing that a lot of people were upset about, which I think they were trying to be mad, was when Bruce was pointing out that Jen's blood is better than his and can like process the gamma radiation a little bit better. The whole argument where she's like, well, I'm better. She was kind of playing it up like, oh, I'm better than you. I can do this better than you. I think some people deliberately got mad out of that because that's a part of the books because Jen isn't traumatized like Bruce is.
Yeah,
that's why he
I
has
think they missed the point. Yeah, he was in a abusive relationship with his father growing up, and she wasn't. She had it good, so she could control her anger. He basically made a different character with his anger, aka the Hulk. So that makes sense. If they didn't understand that, they weren't paying attention.
Right, but I will say the MCU has not given us enough time with Bruce.
They have
overly get that out there, so it could have went over casuals' heads. I kind of get that. But
when Hulk is raging and he's walking around and like you'll see nobody's near him and he just says, "Leave me alone." That's him replaying shit with his dad in his head.
Right.
He's actually physically in his mind, he's yelling at his dad to leave him alone because his dad was such a terrible drunk and abusive asshole to him.
His dad was Nick Nolte. I was fucked up too. So
Jen said it exactly right, and this is why I said the dynamic of a woman having to be in corporate America, especially corporate America, because if you go across the world, the shit ain't like this. But what it is we actively have to temper ourselves, especially if you're a black woman in the corporate world. So when she says, "This is me all day, controlling my anger back and forth. I can be She-Hulk, I can go back. I don't have to lose my shit to do that." That is absolute facts.
Well, didn't she say something like that on the show? Like when somebody upsets her, she just reacts. When Bruce is upset, he holds it inside.
And it builds up and he hulks out. That's why that first time that she changed, when them assholes were heckling her, he thought that he had to just hurry up and jump in and stop her. No, she was gonna stop as soon as those dudes had jumped back and started to run away. She was gonna let them go.
That was funny though when he tackled it. That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
You can imagine she just looked at him like, "Bro, what the fuck?"
Now,
what I was gonna say earlier, with their whole back and forth with the "I'm better than you" and doing all that. I don't know how y'all are with y'all's cousins, but me and my cousins fuck around with each other like that all the time. I read that as just these are two cousins / siblings messing around with each other,
playing around.
Right.
Like I don't think she was actively saying that. No, I'm better than you because I'm just better than you and I can do all this. I'm like, no, this is her fucking with him. That's why he pushed her off the damn cliff and looked at her like, you little punk.
Yeah, that's how
How
I
is that
took
not a sibling conversation right there?
Right.
Isn't her nickname Furball or something like
Yeah, he
that?
calls it
Yeah,
Furball.
like so many people so many guys were upset about that. I'm like, dude, how are y'all reading the scene like this? Y'all don't fuck around with y'all siblings, y'all cousins like that? I'm sorry that y'all had such a bad family life then.
Now, I will say, I thought she was kind of being a bit of a dick to him. And the way I would have got around it is maybe have a flashback when they were younger. And because Bruce does have anger issues, maybe he was kind of an asshole to her when they were younger. So you could kind of get an idea why she might be a little more kind of, against them. But that's just an idea I had. But you're right, though. They are siblings. They're going to fuck around. It is what it is.
Sure.
Very easily.
For sure.
You got something, Ian? I thought you were about to say something.
Oh no, I think you guys nailed it. I think 100%. Like that's just how family, and it seems like they're close. That's just how their banner is.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, now we mentioned about it. This was another big thing, and sadly, it is what it is. But the special effects on She-Hulk was kind of hit or miss.
You know why that is?
Certain episodes,
I can tell you exactly
it was
why that is.
And a couple episodes, it was like, what the fuck? Where'd the money go? Because this ain't.
When it comes to,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
I think the only time, in my humble opinion, the only time the special effects actually really worked for She-Hulk was actually for me the last episode. Only because
they paid a little more money into that.
Even in the robot, he tells her, "Can the camera cut back to me so that the special effect artists don't have to work so hard so that you can transfer it back."
And also because she's expensive.
Yeah, she's very expensive.
Which
I thought was funny, but also kind of shitty because the reports of like them overworking all the visual effects people. It was
pay
them.
Definitely not to like a lot of the shit that was going on between the writers and artists. But like for me, like even the fight between Hulk and her, Hulk seemed a little bit more realistic. But keep in mind they've already had drafts of the Hulk, so
he's a movie model.
Them putting in the Hulk didn't really cost, I guess, as much as they did creating a new figure.
She looked good in that dress, though.
But I will say though, when She-Hulk was fighting Daredevil, I don't know if y'all caught it. Maybe because I pay attention to stuff like that. It did not seem
that one
real
right
to me.
there.
It didn't seem real to me. Yeah, it didn't seem real to me. Wow. We're about to get deplatformed.
Yeah.
Don't act like y'all wasn't thinking it too.
Yeah.
Don't act like I was
By the way, that's that last episode I was referring to.
That shot right there. That was the shot when she hopped in.
Yeah.
Look, it ain't just gonna be my hands all up in there either. She looked tasty.
I didn't really believe the CGI. I just felt like it was. I won't say cheaply made. I think they did the best that they could do for TV. But for me personally,
it's not just TV.
It wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
When it comes to CGI, a lot of things when you're doing those, it's almost like you're trying to graft it onto someone's skin.
Right.
So when you're doing that, when someone has blemishes or wrinkles or different types of things, that actually helps to make the CGI look better. When it has to go around such
Hulk's
a
got all that.
surface,
Hulk's got all that detail in his face.
Exactly. You look at Tatiana Maslany, that bitch's skin is flawless.
Right.
So having to try to work with that, it's almost like you have to dirty it up a little bit to get it to look a little better, a little cleaner. But that's why it look. I mean, and think about how it looks here compared to how it looked when they put the first trailer out.
Yeah,
like,
that's looks pretty good right there.
Better than the render that we first got. So that's some of the nuances of this technology that a lot of folks don't know and don't pay attention to. I mean, and why would the average person know that? I'm a weird geek like that, so I go and look this shit up. But that's the reason. It's a very technical reason as to why the things look like that.
Yeah.
All right. So, and Alex, I wholeheartedly agree with you when you said this. So, She-Hulk is supposed to be the comedy show. That was the thing. It's like
a legal comedy show.
It's a legal. Well, they suck at the legal shit, so it's a comedy show. And like the MCU kind of gets trashed on for being like overly jokey and everything. So why is it that when we get to She-Hulk, which is supposed to be the comedy show, most of the jokes weren't really hitting like that? Like it's like some of the jokes just it was a lot of just very light sort of like I get the joke, but I'm not laughing type of shit going on. They had some good bangers.
Too much.
Yeah,
they were trying to do too much and fit a little too many nuances into one little thing. So while you could see where they were trying to land, and sometimes they did hit the landing, they didn't really stick the landing. It's like when you slide in onto a base, you don't just you don't get there and you caught it. You kind of like slid over it sometimes to the side, and you got to reach over and tap it before you get hit and tagged out. That's a lot of what was happening, in my opinion.
I ain't gonna lie, that bit with Mr. Immortal when he jumped out the window, I kind of did laugh. I was like,
that was funny. That was
like how much of a ridiculous man child are you?
Yeah, that was.
I could have watched the whole episode of that. That was pretty funny.
I'm not gonna lie, there were certain times in my life where I'm like, yo, if I know I could come back to life if I jump out this window right now, because they're just like,
all he had to do was walk out the office, though. You that weird.
It was like,
okay. When has that ever stopped, especially a black woman, from following a man to finish their point?
She would have been right out that window with him. He's right about that.
I'm saying, look. What did I tell y'all earlier? Okay,
point.
If you pay attention to Nikki's character or her nuances, Nikki is from the block. She might live in LA now, but that bitch is from the block.
But she ain't jumping on the window.
Setting, Nikki would not have came because she was at work. In any other setting, you think Nikki wouldn't have walked right over there and said, "Oh, we're doing this today?" Okay.
Yeah, her and the Lord.
His heels off. Her and Mallory, exactly. They were at work. That is the
how many wives did that man have? God
dang. He had like. Well, he's immortal, so he had a bunch. Those are the ones that were still alive.
Those are the ones that were still alive, right?
Yeah, they didn't even mention that. I think that was a joke they should have made. But those are the ones.
That's what I'm saying. I could have watched the whole series about this man's life from birth to.
Yes, because that was hilarious.
There were like I think it was 8 or 9 wives and 1 husband that were in the lawsuit.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was one. That was funny too. Yeah.
I mean, if you're living for a long time, you might as well.
Yeah, exactly. He was hustling. That was the thing because he stole that guy's money.
If you're immortal all these years in that time frame and only one dude, really?
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. But,
he's a little late on his progression, I guess.
Apparently.
1800s and shit.
Because if I'm immortal and I get to go around here and sample everything, you think I'm not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a joke that actually worked for me, but
that
there was others that didn't. For sure.
Like I said, I didn't like the guy that played the dad. I didn't find any of his stuff all that funny. Mm-hmm. Which I thought the whole family I didn't find it funny. The stuff with her brother or her cousin.
I think it was her brother.
It was her cousin. No, it was her cousin.
It was her cousin. Okay,
her cousin Chet.
Chet, didn't like him. Didn't think it was that funny. I get what they were trying to do, but like it didn't work.
Absurd.
What about what's her name?
Titania. Okay, so
I thought that was a little much. Sometimes
they could have left her out.
Titania was a good idea. I don't think the execution was as well, because when they got to the point where she was suing her for stealing her trademark, or when she was being petty. No, that was the good part though. But she was being petty to pop up at the wedding. Yeah, she was just being petty. I can get into that, but it's just some of the bits just didn't land as much as I wanted them to be. And I wasn't familiar with this actress. She looks good, but like I wasn't.
I was confused.
It wasn't even just being petty. It was the ridiculous jealousy and rivalry that she pulled in. If you want to come in and be petty, I love a good petty. Be petty. Sure. But this whole jealousy thing that you have, like you have these powers and you didn't even want them, and I should be able to do what you did. Like, bitch,
it's a bit weak.
You're out here being a super powered social media mogul. That's your only goal in life.
Why are you hating on this random lawyer?
I think that was probably the worst episode. Was the wedding, and then also the She-Hulk episode,
because
the She-Hulk trademark episode was trash too. Because like
I like those two. I thought that's the petty aspect of it, but she's also kind of playing her as a lawyer, and then the whole boyfriends thing coming back or the dates coming back, like that was fine.
The last episode when she came out of nowhere, I mean, I guess that's what it was meant to be. Everything was just random, but like when she came out of nowhere and she was like on her side, I was like, When did they become friends?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Once
weird.
again, bad writing.
They
It's
are
always
friends in the comics. Yeah, see,
wishy-washy.
this is that. That's why I said they could have kept her for later because they do come out having issues in the comics, but eventually they do actually end up being friends and fighting together quite a lot throughout the series. But they didn't execute it well here.
Yeah,
I
it should have
didn't
been
even
a
like-
moment.
I didn't even like Titania's introduction. Like when she
Yeah.
just burst, like, wasn't it like
Courtroom.
a
We
traffic
still
violation?
don't know.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a
was
traffic
something petty.
violation, but why are you bursting into this courtroom right here though?
Right.
Wackiness, because wacky. It's wacky.
And she got out with her white privilege. She was out the next day. She didn't have
Right.
to pay.
I
for
don't know.
nothing.
I don't know about
He
white.
got out the
privilege,
next
but,
day and then sued the person.
Sued.
You just
Sued
tore the whole
person.
courtroom up, and you tried to kill people.
Right. That was
They
just.
did that.
I mean,
They did that because that was the intro to getting Jen's story started with again.
Yeah, the superhero stuff.
You could have done something better. I mean, she won her case, but she was going to win her case anyway. But then she got fired for it because of this bullshit.
Yeah,
Did the right. He specifically said you did the right thing, but we can't have that.
Right,
Your
right,
liability
right.
now.
And then she gets the new job and all that, which we'll get more into that. But like the episode, I didn't really care for was this one with Wong and Madison and the shitty magician. I didn't like
the shitty magician was a dumbass.
Yeah, I didn't care for any of that.
I liked Madison.
I did. The only thing I liked about the episode is where the magician was impersonating the judge. I thought that was kind of funny.
I was that misdirect when they thought it was Johnny Blaze.
No, the wrong episode. That was the elf.
That was
the
sorry, my bad.
Yeah, that was the other shitty episode. Yeah,
they all blend in.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That was the one with Megan.
Man.
That was the one with Megan.
Now, okay, I'm sorry.
Like that episode. Come on.
I posted this way before the episode aired. I said all we're gonna get from the Meg episode is her twerk. We're gonna see She-Hulk twerking. And listen, I don't really care.
I don't care what nobody says. That was hilarious.
Look at that.
That was funny.
Excuse me. Not only was that hilarious, but look at that. Who the fuck don't want to see that?
That was funny as hell.
It was like
I didn't hate it.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm not shitting on it. But what I'm saying is that
was the best part of the episode.
No value. In my opinion, it brought no value to the show.
But it was a post-credit scene.
I agree with what Alex is saying.
To my eyes and me.
I agree with Alex is saying. Alex,
hold on, Ian. You was mad at this, Alex? Yeah, you ain't liking that.
I love that.
No, I love the scene. It brought a lot of value to me personally in certain parts that I can't say on this camera, but definitely a lot of value in certain areas. But like as a show, I'm like,
I agree with what Alex is trying to say. So what Alex is trying to say is he's seen that coming. Of course, as soon as they announce Meg Thee Stallion's on the show, we know there's going to be twerking.
Exactly.
But who didn't want to see She-Hulk twerk? That was amazing.
Apparently,
it doesn't matter if we called it. We're like, yes, we're going to see that.
Can we show that again just to prove the point?
I guess trolls didn't want to see none. Yeah, so they weren't a fan of that.
So yeah, I have a gripe against that. You know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Why is that?
As soon as we bring a sister into this, we got to start twerking. You know what I mean?
That's what she's known for, though. I mean, she is the twerker, though.
That's what she does, though.
She raps. She ain't gonna talk about physics. I'm just saying, she ain't about to here talk about currency and shit. I'm just.
Here's a question I have for you. Isn't this law firm for people with superpowers and stuff? So is Meg Thee Stallion a mutant or something?
Her power's her ass, apparently.
You're right.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
You gotta have superpowers
I
for
approve.
like that.
She touched
and I'm tight as hell.
Gross, Jen, I'm your cousin.
Megan taught us some techniques.
Who made that edit?
I don't know, but it's fucking hilarious. Megan taught us some techniques. But anyway, I'm sorry, Craig. Go ahead.
That was one of the best scenes. Like, as much as I told you I don't like this show, that was one of the best scenes in the MCU, period. I love
The
it.
reason why I like that a little bit better is the fact that that's really Tatiana doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a video of her actually showing her. Because at first I was like, I bet she can't even twerk for real. But then they proved me wrong. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
Hey,
Her and the
Tatiana-
mocap is
Tatiana?
fucking hilarious.
She looked like she was
Yeah,
having a
I-
good time too.
If you
They should at least have her
follow
doing that at the crib to let us know that she would do that in the office space at her job in front of
Look,
everybody.
I'm saying, if you follow her on social media, you will find just random vids of her. Like I think there's a video of her like at some friend's wedding from a few years ago, where she's literally like the only person on the dance floor, just dancing by herself, having fun, not a care in the world. Like that's her personality.
Yeah,
That's the
I
type
was
of
not
person she
familiar
is,
with
and
her
I love
before
that.
this. Yeah, she did a good job though. She was I thought she did a
She
good
did.
job. But
One of the best scenes in MCU. Period. I loved it.
Loved it. But yeah, I was just crazy. It was crazy just how many people was like, "Oh, this is so dumb, and why are we doing this? And what is twerking? I never heard of this. Do men actually find twerking attractive?"
Did you guys see that meme with Smithers?
With
Smithers?
Oh yes,
doing something else after the episode was over. I'm just saying.
And I wholeheartedly agree with this meme here.
No behavior. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. I agree.
And we know damn well that
I
Daredevil absolutely would twerk for any
I
given
agree with
reason.
this meme,
right.
And I also agree. I kind of get what Chris is saying, but I also know if it was Miley Cyrus instead of Megan Thee Stallion, it would be no complaints. I'm just.
She would have powers.
I probably would be complaining.
I would complain.
Yeah, I would complain.
Well, it wouldn't be as many complaints, I would say. You know what you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the incels be like, "Oh, that's
If
a
it was-
perfect amount of cheeks for me."
Right. If it was Iggy Azalea doing it, we wouldn't be
It's
hearing
like,
this amount of crying. So, y'all, whatever. And also, it was a post-credit scene. I didn't care. It's like post-credit. It's whatever. It's it's just a little whatever. So we talked about the CGI. Okay, so some of the stuff when it came to like wrapping this shit up, I thought it was weird that Josh just disappeared. He exposed. Oh wait, fuck all that. We didn't talk about the biggest fucking thing. I kind of forgot because it was so good. We don't really need to discuss it, but Daredevil's back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
It's back.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Shout out to the actor that played Luke. What is it, Luke
Oh.
Jacobson? I think.
Yeah.
No, he's the one that's making the suit. But also, Matt, why are you traveling like all the way to the other side of the earth?
That's his homie.
This
yeah, that's
suit,
his
bruh?
boy. He's
That's his
making.
boy.
I mean, I understand that, I know, but nobody else is out here making suits though.
Well, remember
Isn't the
the
original person like
In New
locked
York?
up or something?
yeah.
He's locked
Remember
up.
the guy that made his suits betrayed him. So I don't think Matt's fucking
but-
with him anymore.
But technically,
Okay.
like the guy who made his suits, isn't he like a kind of like the dark
Tinkerer.
net
Yeah.
suit designer for superheroes? So I mean, if
Low
he
key, yeah.
if he
It's
makes
not a lot of
superheroes
guys
for a
like that.
lawyer, it kind of makes it right for him to represent him if he's
Yeah,
being sued.
he's gonna
Yeah,
represent him.
definitely.
Yeah.
So
But
he represented Luke, so why wouldn't he represent Tinkerer to keep him out of jail?
I don't know if you guys ever seen this show, The
Weird.
Flight Attendant, and I hated it.
Secrets
He
of
was
Power.
on it.
No.
But I think
Never saw
he
it.
was a lot better on this show than The Flight Attendant.
Okay.
Is this the
okay.
guy
I
from
just
Roll
like
Down?
his character.
No, that's not. I thought that was
No.
Brandon T. Jackson too. That's
Oh,
not
no,
him.
it
Not
isn't.
even
No,
Roll
I thought it was him
Different guy.
too. Because I was like, nah.
Wow.
I thought it was
That's
at first. I
fucking
was like,
It
hilarious.
does
is that
look like him a
Brandon?
little bit.
It does look
But
like
I
no,
thought it
that's
was
not
him.
him. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
unless Brandon became very flamboyant in the last few years, I don't think that's.
I mean, he
I was
kind of
like,
was.
that's great
though.
acting. I was like, he's an
Yeah.
actor.
That's good acting. Right,
Yeah,
that's good
yeah.
acting. He embodied that,
Man,
Look,
I
The
will
man
say
is
though,
back.
I will say my only criticism, because I loved everything about the Daredevil episode.
This
What
was a
they
good episode.
did, they
That was the best
took
one.
the Netflix suit and just painted it yellow and like
no,
Low
no,
key
no,
accurate.
that is comic accurate. That is comic.
it is,
accurate.
but I get what you're saying
accurate,
though,
but I'm
Alex. I
saying
get what you're saying.
that's the same exact Netflix suit from the Netflix
The Walk of
series.
Shame.
They just painted it yellow. Some
Was
parts of it
anything
yellow.
really shameful about that walk though?
No, it was not. That was
It is.
But that was
Matt
fun.
had his head
Let me
held
explain why it's
high.
shameful.
And
I
the
didn't
little
call it the
jig
Walk
in
of
his
Shame. That's
step.
what they called it.
That's what they called it. I thought it was.
I would have
thought it
probably
was hilarious.
stayed to tell you the truth.
But
Bruh.
my other thing about that, like,
You saw she brought his ass back, didn't
I would
I-
have needed to have breakfast.
you?
Yep.
Facts.
in
but
bed.
Daredevil wouldn't do this. Daredevil
Yes, he
would not
would.
leave.
Yes, he
would
would.
not.
Are you joking?
I don't believe. I do not believe the guy who protects Hell's Kitchen would fuck somebody and then walk out in his suit.
He got no other clothes. He gonna walk out in his drawers.
Uh,
He
He got no other
I,
clothes on.
I think he would
He
wait
has
till
a mask
nighttime
on.
to leave. Like, I don't think
So he gonna smash and then wait till nighttime. He
Yeah,
got time
he
for that. He
ain't
gotta
He
get
didn't
on
bring
the
a change of
plane.
clothes.
He-
It was a spur of the
he has-
moment.
I got to get back on the plane to New York.
He has to get like to the airport and back to his hotel room and change his clothes.
I would like to point out, and I understand that the dynamics are two different things. We've seen Matt Murdock have sex with women in the Netflix series. We did not see him leave those houses. And
he didn't have to leave because his house was
blown up. Because he didn't have to. He lived just up the block.
He was up the street. Exactly. What are you going to do? He's around the corner.
So he
okay, are we saying he just got on the plane back to New York in his Daredevil suit?
He said he went to his hotel.
He was on the last episode.
Saying that this superhero got on the plane with his suit like this.
No, not like that. He went back to the hotel.
Went back to where his clothes was.
Suit on. He went to the hotel with the suit on.
Then went to the airport.
He snuck in. He snuck in.
So even that sounds strange. So he went to go back to the hotel.
He spoke to the concierge.
Spoke to the concierge. They gave him his keys and they sent him up to his room.
Do you snuck in? Into a hotel room?
I think he snuck into his own hotel room.
Yeah, he snuck into his hotel room.
But how are you sneaking?
Alex,
he's Daredevil.
Hold on.
Tell him, Alex.
Alex, let me tell you. No, let me tell you. I used to work at a hotel. There are many different doors you can go into. Where you can sneak past every camera, every concierge, and get up to your floor with your key that I guarantee you he had in his suit and go into your room.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that because I currently, as of right now, I work in hotels too. So there's ways you can get in. But what I'm saying is that when you get to that elevator or the stairway, and you get into that long hallway with all them doors, you mean to tell me nobody walked out and said,
"No cameras"? Yes,
Alex, I got a rebuttal for that. I got a rebuttal for that, Alex. You've seen this man in hallways. If somebody caught him in the hallway, he whipped their ass. He took him out.
They don't know what we're gonna see. They're gonna see a yellow blur, and the next thing they're on the ground. They don't.
Nobody is coming out of their room because they gotta hurry up and be ready to be downstairs for checkout. So everybody is scrambling. They ain't coming out to the hallway until they get ready.
That man came back during checkout time.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
I know.
How he got home from having sex.
The only reason we're still on the subject is because Alex had an issue.
I will say this though. I will say this as a positive. I love when Daredevil tells She-Hulk, listen, you don't do this shit. Like you're not a superhero. And we see him tear through that hallway. I'm like, if this is just a glimpse of what we're gonna get in the Disney Plus series, I can't wait. I hope to see that character evolve more. But and I kind of like the kind of jokey, somewhat side of Matt Murdock / Daredevil. I just hope we still get that.
Comic that they're pulling from. Yeah, this works with that rendition of him.
Right. I just hope we get a better tone, a little bit more darker tone. But I will say that the first time we see him on screen and he looks at She-Hulk, he was like, "You need to back off," and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna play out, bro. Like she's a superhuman.
She fucked him up with that. She fucked him up like Homelander did a Homeboy when he slapped his ass.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And she took him down in like 5 seconds. She just like did
as it should be. She's a fucking Hulk.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that's what I was like. You trying to be intimidating in this moment? I'm like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I will say though, for that first scene when that car chase, I really loved how they pulled in his acrobatics from that run of the comic that they're pulling
you can do that when you have a budget.
They didn't show that much on the Netflix of that. They showed him fighting, but not all the extra shit that he could do. This is parkour at his finest. Yeah. Like flipping off of the roof and then landing in a window.
Yeah.
Like, who can time that? That was freaking perfect. I love that.
I do have a question for y'all. Do men have walk of shames?
No.
Yeah,
not after you smash.
That's why I said it's not. That's why I said.
That's what I'm saying. Is that really a walk of shame?
Not even accurate.
But that's what I'm saying. They called it that. I don't personally believe that was a walk of shame.
That's what the ladies
do have walk of shames. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. There's been some.
Oh, Alex, you ain't never had none of them nights. Really?
No, not yet.
I'm
still waiting. I'm still waiting.
No shame after this. No
damn shame after that.
There's no shame. I ain't gonna. I would stay there for the rest of the week.
Exactly.
You're doing the most now.
Look, I am calling back to New York right now. Like, hey, I'm not.
Right, yo, Foggy, I'm gonna be here. Yeah, I'm gonna be out in Cali.
I'm gonna look over there like, what, Foggy? 2 weeks, I'll be back. You know what? Let's just play it by ear.
Exactly.
We might just have a West Coast branch of the office making out. I'm checking out some leads. I'll call you back in like a month.
She might move out to New York. I don't know. We'll see.
And technically speaking, Daredevil did hit She-Hulk with his stick. So
Heyo. That's why you're here, Alex.
A few times.
Wow.
And that's wild that Daredevil got a love scene before Falcon, man.
Yo.
Can we also just look at
Crit,
random off topic?
You ain't wrong.
The list that we've seen that's on Daredevil's hit list right now.
He's
boy
getting it in.
Pull some ladies, man.
Yeah.
Like not no random ladies either. He pulling some nice ones.
That's why we'll never get a Luke Cage. That's why we'll never get a Luke Cage because he will compete with Daredevil.
They got some of the few same ones. So yeah.
No, in the comics
Luke Cage,
though,
it's not gonna be Mike Coulter, but we damn sure better see Misty Knight's fine ass again.
I hope they bring her back at least.
Hey, but in the comics, She-Hulk she be getting it in with like a lot of.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we might be seeing a lot of. We might be seeing some more
thing.
Cameos in the season.
That's another thing the incels had issues with is her sex appeal. Do y'all not know this is what she did? Okay, she fucks.
That's what she does.
That's what she does.
That's her thing. Like if
I was walking around looking like that, you think I'm not tapping like every
an old man
that I want?
Even tap Bruce. Remember?
Old man Logan.
Yeah.
She even hit her cousin.
That was different circumstances,
that was
but
a
that did
special
happen.
situation.
Yeah,
though.
that did happen. I wouldn't hold that one up. But yeah,
we can't put this with everything else.
She got to wear that walking
That's
shame,
why,
baby.
that's why Bruce came back with Skaar. He looks like a inbred little boy.
Oh,
with that messed up haircut.
Okay, so we can talk about that.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought that subject up now, Ian.
This shit here is
look at that.
You know,
this shit here is unacceptable.
I ain't gonna lie. I really thought for a second
that's the inbred kid right there
and did some CGI work for this.
Say what?
Because like when I first saw it, and I didn't really get a good look at it until I saw some still frames. I really thought that was that Kanye West hairline.
Oh
no!
No, they saying
I don't know.
You know what I think? You know what?
That was funny.
Kevin, I agree with the theory that dude that cut Hulk's hair, not Hulk, but Thor's hair on Skaar because Thor was being an asshole. He was like, "Oh, okay."
But he gave him a good cut though.
Okay,
did he?
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Is there anyone
he gave Thor a good cut, but he didn't
That's
give
what I'm
Skaar
saying. He gave Thor a good cut. So why did he give him Skaar a good cut?
Is there anyone on this planet who can explain to me how Skaar is his son? Like
we don't have any background yet, but here's the thing.
This is a theory that time works differently on planet Skaar.
Time works differently, and that's why Skaar is as big as he is right here. But there's also a lot of years. That's the thing. There's a lot of years that we didn't see. Remember, Bruce said it was 2 years. It was 2 years that he was Hulk altogether on Skaar. So we don't know everything that's happened in that time, and he was the champion. So guaranteed, he was tapping something. That just goes with that territory.
Was he was tapping them as Hulk, or was he tapping them as Bruce?
As Hulk.
No, he
was tapping them as Hulk.
It was as Hulk because
he was Hulk.
He was Hulk for 2 years. He was a celebrity on Skaar, and like time works differently over there. Plus, we don't know how fast Hulks be growing anyway.
That's the thing because his mom is an alien.
It's not just his mom's an alien. There's a special. There's some form of the power cosmic that Skaar has, and that is what helps speeds up his growth. Yeah. There's something extra going on there, but we don't have all that backstory yet. So all we can do right now is speculate.
I think personally, and listen, I'm interested to see where they're gonna go with this, but I will say this was the worst way to introduce this Easter egg.
I agree.
Yeah, I think they should have left this. Tell us that Bruce came back from Skaar. Okay, cool, but leave Skaar later.
Now the writer said that was all Feige. Feige was all in charge of Skaar's design,
to get that
Skaar's
one little bit in.
That was lazy.
That's all on Feige. And it
should have been an end credit scene with him figuring out he had a son.
Yeah, I thought that would have been better.
Well, that was what everybody guessed was the whole messenger.
We all guessed
accident anyway.
But just showing up like a Fast and Furious movie, like,
hey everybody, here's my son,
my brother.
You got to remember him.
I think he had to go back and get him from Skaar, probably because Skaar
that's the
has
mom,
a lot
Alex.
of anger issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the mom right there, but I don't know if that's what we're gonna get from the MCU.
Yeah, it might be something different.
But Scar's
He'll probably
haircut
have like
one,
face paint or something.
yeah, and his tattoos also, I think, speak to him actually being made to fight in the Coliseum. So I think that's where he was getting him from. But something was happening, and what's his name that's out there? The Collector's brother, the Grandmaster. He just said, he was like, "Hey, come get this little asshole. He's being dick, and I'm tired of dealing with him. So you got to come get him. You didn't know he was here, but now you know. So come pick his ass up."
What a
Now that I think about it,
he had to go back and get him.
Now that I think about it, Skaar might have led the rebellion. If you remember at the end of Ragnarok, they kicked him out, and there was like,
maybe
he was kind of dethroned, so maybe he led the rebellion. I don't fucking know.
Oh wait, there's also a theory that Skaar actually isn't going to be around for too much longer because Galactus is in the background doing things.
That'd be cool.
What if he
bringing
dies?
him to Earth was actually Skaar escaping?
What if Skaar dies, and then that's how Bruce
and
that's
this
how Hulk,
is an imposter?
Hulk's out. Huh? No. This is how Hulk is angry again.
You think that's how he's going?
I don't think that's going. I think that's a little bit.
How is Hulk going to get angry again?
I don't think he is.
Skaar has a really big storyline, though. I think that if anything does happen to him, he's got to go through whatever they actually brought him in for first.
Well, I don't believe Skaar.
It's Young Avengers, hands down. That's why they're.
I don't know.
You think so?
I think his storyline is going to play out more in Secret Wars.
He's a separate character, though.
Because I don't think we're going to see Skaar for a long period of time. To be honest.
Yeah,
he's gonna die.
Is he a Young Avenger though? Is he in the?
No, that's Hulk.
That's Hulkling.
No,
Hulkling is
like
not an actual
From
Hulk.
what I understand,
he's a
Skaar
Skrull.
eventually dies, and then Hulk becomes enraged, where the Illuminati sent him somewhere else. And then
he comes back and attacks Earth.
That's the story of Planet Hulk. I mean, not Planet Hulk.
That was. You're right, Alex, but you're mixing up the events. The explosion happens, and then he turns into World War Hulk, and then after that, he finds out Skaar is alive.
Yeah, still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Skaar might take Hulkling's spot, though. I don't think.
No.
I actually agree. I agree with him
because we're getting Wiccan and Speed.
Exactly. They have to keep it Hulkling because you're gonna piss off. Yeah, you're gonna piss off a lot of people.
I agree with Critical
all
though.
Of my rainbow nerds will fucking riot.
You let them know.
Do that to us.
You fucking with an army if you do that. Do not fuck with Hulkling.
I agree with Critical because like there's no reason to keep
in my background now.
There's no reason to keep introducing all these Hulks. Like I think they in Marvel.
Hulkling isn't a Hulk though.
He's a Skrull.
He's a Skrull Kree hybrid.
Yeah, but listen, in a lot of these movies and television shows, they do like mix characters together.
They do.
Just so,
yeah.
And that's why I kind of agree with them.
Yeah, Hulkling ain't the one to try that with.
Skaar can be gay.
Nah,
because he's not gay.
That sounds good.
Yes, he is. Wiccan and Hulkling are married. What are you talking
Hulkling's gay.
No, Skaar can marry.
He's saying.
You guys ain't listening.
Skaar could be gay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you, Alex.
I mean, he could be, but
we don't know this man's sexual orientation. He just showed up with a terrible haircut.
Look,
Hulkling is too big of a character for
he's
them
a gay
to do
icon
any
in
type
Marvel.
of mold
Do
like
not,
that.
do not.
The relationship of Wiccan and Hulkling.
I think that haircut was gay. Maybe he is gay.
No.
Don't.
I'll say,
Ian, I like you. Don't do that.
Hey,
wait.
We don't know. We don't ever assume anyone's not gay. He could be.
I'll say.
I'm not
say
assuming
this.
that. No.
I'll say this for me personally. If they, after seeing that scene, I don't think we're getting a Young Avengers anytime soon because everything is so scattered. We don't know where they're gonna.
What's the point of them introducing all these Young Avengers then?
We're gonna get them, but I don't think we're gonna get them in Phase 5 or Phase 6. I don't think we're gonna get that. I think we're gonna get that probably maybe Phase 7, maybe
when they're all grown up.
I can see that being Phase
7.
Yeah,
right.
They're all being grown up.
Just think about it. They introduced Wicked and Speed. They're technically adult in another universe, but they're technically still kids. So are we gonna really do it? The Young
5 years
Avengers
later, when they're all like married with children.
But no, the Young Avengers are essentially like the Teen Titans, like
yeah, exactly, like the
17 and
Titans
up.
show.
Wicked and Speed are like 8
Yeah.
years old. So we're gonna are we gonna really watch a movie with 8-year-olds to like saving the Earth?
Listen.
Like I don't get it. Like
You're missing one key thing though, Alex. When it comes to Wiccan and Speed, those constructs are gone. They're technically for different versions in the multiverse of them right now, but by the time we saw them actually come back in the comics, they were teenagers. So some timey-wimey nonsense could happen very easily. Because we've already seen there's already, you can find the interviews and the auditions of the 2 older boys that are going to play them that are out on the web right now. So we know that they're teenagers that are already set to join in, and we've already seen Patriot. I think the only other one we need to get is Hulkling, and that's it. And Kid Loki is coming in. We already got Riri. Yeah. Well, we're about to get her.
Heck yeah!
So,
I can't wait.
The building blocks are coming together, so it's going to be fairly soon-ish.
I think so. I think it's going to be soon.
It might. I think it's going to be maybe halfway through or the end of the next phase because for the age constraints of all the actors, they can't space it out for too long.
But my thing, so my thing is, if we're going to get the Young Avengers, because correct me if I'm wrong, I thought the Young Avengers is essentially, like I said earlier, was like the response to the Teen Titans. What are the Young Avengers? What are they going to face against that the Avengers can't really take care of?
I have no idea.
I think it's going to be leftovers.
Maybe Kang.
I keep missing. Like, are we saying that Iron Man cannot handle
he's dead?
He's dead. He can't handle anything.
We don't have Iron Man.
That's why we have Riri.
I think we're going. That's what I'm saying.
Are we saying that? Are we saying that there's nobody in our new? Because we don't really know who our new lineup of Avengers are. But let's just say it's the standard lineup that we may think with our new Cap, with these other new characters. Are we saying that these Avengers can't handle whatever the Young Avengers are about to be threatened with?
I think they're going to be forced to come together.
I think
what it is it's not that they won't be able to handle it. They won't have the time to handle it. That's why you have all these teams, like the Defenders handle the lower level, like street level stuff that the Avengers don't have time to pay.
We still got X-Men too. Like they got their own thing going on too.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are different things all around these certain groups. And I think Iron Wars is going to be a big come together for the Young Avengers because that's particularly deals with Riri and
good point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. That's potentially could be what it is.
That's great in for them.
I think Kang is going to kick everybody's ass to the point where the younglings are going to be left over and they're going to be like, we got to come.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, Crit, that's actually a good point.
When you say
that could happen because we have
that's a good point.
The kid Kang
Loki.
That is
Iron Lad.
Iron Lad, who is a young Kang, who is a part of the Young Avengers at some point, that does do time hopping. So we very well could see him, even though he's like a century in the future. We could very easily see him with our Young Avengers right now.
And somebody did have this theory that Ironheart, Riri, might be, because they might be blending those two characters. She might be a Kang variant.
She could be the variant.
That's what I'm saying. They do this all the time in the movie. They blend these characters together.
Yeah. And
that's a Kang variant. That'd be awesome.
That is a good blend.
To your point, Ian, that's why I think if they don't introduce Hulkling, which I believe is a very important, and they just bring over Skaar, that's why I said it wouldn't make a difference to me if they did make Skaar like gay and a part of the.
What I was saying,
cohesive, like because they had done that. But understanding, but real quick, understanding AK's point, I do think to the comic book origins of where the Young Avengers like are very important in terms of inviting Hulkling because he's technically not a Hulk. He's like a mixture between two species.
That, yes.
I get that, but that's why I said with this particular scene, it was introduced incorrectly for me because if you're saying we're gonna bring in the Young Avengers, okay, well, how does this motherfucker play?
He's not a part of it. I get
any of this shit. That's why it's like throwing me off a lot.
I got you.
But it's not even just the LGBT of it all with Hulkling's character though. He is a king. and there's a very big storyline that has to be his character with the background that he has. That's why I
think he's
said
going
they
to be
can't
in
just put
Secret
Scar
Avengers.
there.
Not Secret Avengers.
Secret Wars?
Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah. I think he might pop up in Secret Invasion. But
I agree with that.
Yeah. That was.
We'll see. I can't.
I gotta say though, that Riri idea, that kind of sounds kind of cool.
I really like that.
I like
that's a good one.
That kind of sounds kind of cool. I ain't go. Yeah,
that's dope.
That's a good one.
That's kind of a good idea.
I'm for it.
I
hope they do it.
We got our boy Tick from Lovecraft in there.
Exactly.
So perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be a good
kind of cool.
Well done on that. Y'all heard it here first, okay? People on the
I hope it happens.
lurking.
I hope it happens. And I will remember, I say, "Yo, Ian, they stole your shit."
Right, we gonna flip this back. Well, as soon as we see it in the trailer, we pop it on.
Wakanda Forever looks dope. The show looks dope, but we gotta get to Kang somehow. So that's my thing.
They keep saying Ant-Man, so I don't know.
I mean, he is Ant-Man, but
that's what I'm saying.
All of this has to connect. Is what I'm saying. All of this has to connect.
Yeah.
Very
all right,
true.
so another thing, how y'all feeling about this? How y'all feeling about this
man? That motherfucker, that colonizer, fuck that guy.
That's why I took that image.
Not only colonizer, but your lying ass. Wakanda did not open their borders at any given time for your dumb ass to be going to school there. Shut up.
They did not. And
that was funny.
And even the story he said was bullshit, because all I kept thinking is that if you did take a spear, nobody there was gonna whoop your ass.
Did you really think that they wouldn't be able to see you taking that? That they wouldn't have some
bought it at an auction
to walk through?
Yeah, they said he bought it at an auction for $1 million, which I'm like, that's way lowballing it.
I don't see Shuri. Ayo, Okoye, Nakia, none of them just letting him walk away with a spear. Like, really?
Right.
Nah.
Ramonda was side-eyeing Killmonger. You think she wasn't looking at your dumb ass walking around?
Right.
Exactly. I was like, nah, I knew he was lying. When he started the story, I was like, come on, bruh.
I will also say, wasn't this like the most fucking incel bullshit to do? You call this woman about a freaking job, and she has to go because that's in the company contract.
Oh yeah,
right now. And you really over here trying to get her drunk?
Yeah.
To not do work activities?
Yeah.
And you mad that she damn near choked you with that table and walked out?
That was lame as shit. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be a serious threat, but people I work with, it was like, I think he might be the main bad guy. And I'm like, that would be fucking lame. And he kind of was. And then the show rightfully was like, hey, that's fucking lame. And I'm like, yeah,
it was a
right better.
Moment, for sure. Ralph
so I'm confused.
Then he was supposed to almost win? Like, how?
Yeah.
So he was behind the people with these special weapons that attacked Jennifer?
Yeah.
No, that was the
them.
You're talking about the wrecking crew. Yeah, he hired them. Yeah.
So where did he get the weapons from? He just had the money for it.
They're old. He
stole them.
The weapons were stolen. And they're Asgardian.
Asgardian, yeah.
Asgardian. So the wrecking crew is a whole like villainous group.
Yeah, they're if you want to talk, they're like D-level villains.
Yeah,
they messy.
Yeah, they're good. They're good jobbers. Like they're good like fodder for superpowered.
They're
villains.
like what's the boys in Hawkeye? The Russian crew. They're
higher.
Level.
They're higher than them.
The gang that Brogi loves so much.
I don't love them. They
exist. They're only a little higher than them because they have the stolen weapons.
They're like,
if you took that away, they're bumbling idiots.
They're like,
I mean, they can fuck up. Villains. They can fuck up. They're Thor villains, so they can fuck with Thor. But they just dumb them down.
Because they got
Thor
the
can handle them.
Yeah. But I'm saying they are Thor villains. But they get handled. Yeah, they'll get handled. But they're still sort of. Yeah, they're still sort of formidable.
Seriously,
they look worse.
Do it in the back.
They look worse in
with
the
the damn metal headgear.
You remind me of the cat from He-Man.
Oh, which one?
What the hell was his name?
Ram-Man.
Cleftjaw or something.
Trapjaw.
That had that full Trapjaw. That's it. Yes, thank you.
Ram-Man. Are you thinking of Ram-Man?
Yeah, I think you press the toy down and it'll pop up.
Yeah, Ram-Man. Yep, Ram-Man. That's what you think. That's what you think.
Yo, the He-Man and Shiva villains, boy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to head out. It was great talking with you nerds.
Yes.
That's the word.
Always a pleasure.
We can wrap.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, thanks for
keep
coming
that.
in.
Slide into the Twitter DMs, bro. We gotta do some stuff.
I got you. Much love, peace, and chicken grease.
All right,
man,
well, thanks for coming in. One thing I wanted to bring up that I thought was really fun. Since we've been shitting on the finale, but I did like the opening.
I did.
Throwback.
Yes,
that was cool.
The old school.
I did
love
like
that.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was a dope add-in. Seriously dope.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really getting into the story until she went like fourth wall. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is getting good. The next thing I know, everybody started jumping in the mix. I'm like, all right, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So,
I'm like, what the hell?
Are we at the point of this review where we're about to address the last episode? Because I have
I mean, we've been addressing it, but yeah, if you got thoughts, go ahead, Alex. I'll let you go.
That scene, that scene that everyone has been talking about, where the Disney Plus home screen pops up. I had my remote and I was like, this.
You thought your shit fucked up.
It fucked me up so bad. And I was just like, I hear her talking. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Shut up. You actually thought that?
Yeah, because I was like,
that's hilarious.
I need you to start recording your watch along, sir.
Yeah.
Yo, because I went to the Marvel menu. I said, this menu don't look like this. I know it does not look like this at all.
That's so good.
So when it popped up, and then she bursts into the Avengers Assemble, and she goes into the writers' room. That scene, majority of those writers that are in there are actually the actual writers.
Yeah, those are the real writers.
Oh wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was like, okay, so I wonder, why would you write that into the season finale of this show? Because for me, like I said, this was all fucking confusing. You brought this whole build up from episode 8 where she loses her shit, and I'm thinking we're going to see a conflict, and she literally goes in the whole episode and retcons everything, which in some way is very comedic. And by the way, that form she fills out, that form is very real. I've seen that form before.
Oh, the NDA.
NDA is very, very real.
Yep.
Apparently, that office that she is actually real too. Kevin, outside of Kevin Feige's office, that's actually real too. But I thought her retconning everything was so odd and confusing. And then
that's what I said.
I think that was the point. I think that was the point of the show, where she's actually now being Tatiana, not Jennifer Walters. And I'm like, because even Kevin said, the droid said, hey, I'm gonna need the cameras to cut back to me so the visual effects artists can stop working. That way you can turn back into Jen. It's more cheaper that way. I'm paraphrasing. And she turns into Jen and she makes an X-Men reference and she's talking all of this shit. And I'm like, this makes no sense at all. And then what was the killer for me once they go back into MCU reality, Daredevil just shows up. I'm like,
yeah, well, that's what she said she wanted. She wanted her own ending too. She's like, I want him to do this. I want him to. Yeah, that's what she said. Make it right. She said, make it afternoon, and I want Matt Murdock to come back because she said I got needs.
But yeah, Matt Murdock, not Daredevil, just falls out of the sky. Jen,
the funniest thing about that to me was they gave him like that final kill scene during the long night on Game of Thrones with Arya literally jumping out of nowhere, nobody's tree branch in sight, and she comes just launching at the Night King, and Daredevil just where the hell did he come from?
It reminded me of like that old Spider-Man stuff where we would see Spider-Man swinging, but there are no buildings around.
Not swinging on anything.
There's nothing. He's just shooting webs everywhere, but he's swinging, but there's nothing around for him to swing on. And so this episode just didn't make that finale make no sense to me. I do like where they were trying to go in terms of breaking the fourth wall while breaking the fourth wall again, but like this that was like the perfect ending of a really bad show, a perfect way to end a bad show. And I was like, I hope we do see her in future iterations of movies and TV shows. But I think would have been satisfying if she would have went into the Marvel offices and Ryan Reynolds was there. Oh my god,
that would have been wild.
That would have been fucking hilarious. But they didn't do that. They just went.
Or not even Ryan Reynolds. Have like Professor X or Hugh Jackman. be walking around.
You got the robot. You do like the robot?
But I like I don't think the robot was even really that cool. They legit should have just had Feige.
Kevin. That's all I was just gonna say. They should have just had Kevin Feige there.
He didn't.
Feige, you could have gave us 5 minutes of some random cool shit. Did your Feige and then kicked her out the office and wrote that would have been it.
I think the more realism factor that when the writers were like, no one meets Kevin. That's a very true statement because I've met some of the writers of some of the shows. They don't talk to Kevin at all. Like Kevin's not in his office or anything like that.
You have to go through like 50 people to get to Kevin.
Exactly. Kevin only talks to the lead show writer. All you other motherfuckers have to fall in line.
Y'all are not worthy. You're not worthy.
Exactly. So when she said that, I was like, oh, this is going to be different. And I was expecting to see Kevin Feige.
I was expecting to see him too.
We see this weird ass robot. But I will say the funny thing about that whole scene where she was like, so you're gonna see me in future movies and things of that nature?
No.
It was like, nah.
It was like, nah.
That was kind of shitty. Yeah, that was kind of shitty when you said that.
See, I think that I really feel like that was just him fucking with her because he was low key getting annoyed. Like, oh wait, you sitting down?
He's like, yeah, you gotta get out of here.
I thought we was done. Like you never even get this far again. Right. So you're seeing Kevin, you're not even gonna get up to this level again.
Right,
that's the thing. I hopefully they don't repeat this joke in the Deadpool movie, even though I know they are going to. But
they probably
I hope they don't repeat it, or at least do something slightly different. But
just make it funnier. Like make
it like
I see Deadpool like calling Kevin Feige like an asshole, like just like or not even that. Like just do something funny, like Deadpool sleeping with Kevin's wife, like because that's something I
don't know if he would do that. I don't think he would go that far with it.
But no, he's petty enough. Deadpool is petty.
No, I'm talking about Kevin Feige. I don't think Kevin Feige is gonna do a thing where he's gonna let Ryan Reynolds bang his wife.
Kevin's gonna draw that line.
If you're gonna do something fourth wall breaking, have Kevin Feige walk in the middle of the movie and say, "Ryan, I'm glad we saved you from that horrible Green Lantern movie," or something like. Make some funny jabs, but don't hype us up to give us this whack ass finale of trash. Like I was so disappointed by it.
Even worse, Tatiana Maslany. Like I think she was doing something before Orphan Black. I don't remember, but Orphan Black is why 99% of people know her name. This woman played like 10 different characters in this one show throughout many different seasons. I think that was on for like 4, 5, 6 seasons. Orphan Black. It was a great show. She won so many awards for that show. We know she has the chops to do this. Yeah, so a lot of times where the things fall short, I give that to the writing because the actor can do it, but the actor can only do so much with what she's given to work with.
I absolutely agree with that.
I think what hurt the fourth wall on this show was the fact, even though She-Hulk had the fourth wall break in the comic books before Deadpool, but I think by Deadpool being almost such not a new character, but one of the latest characters doing the fourth wall,
more mainstream.
They didn't cap Deadpool like they've capped her before.
Yeah, so I think that's what kind of like, because we already had like a fourth wall type of character, you know what I mean? Yeah. To have another one, I think that's what probably hurt it, you know what I mean? But like I said, She-Hulk was the first fourth wall break character before Deadpool. So,
and I think that's another thing that the incels were mad about because a lot of them don't really read the comics like we do, so they didn't know that, so they thought she was just.
So that's in Deadpool.
It's kind of like what I stated at the top of the show because like Jennifer Walters is breaking the fourth wall as her character. Deadpool is breaking the fourth wall as Ryan Reynolds.
As Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I know you made a good distinction. That's a good distinction.
There is a distinction. You're right.
Different distinction, like because
you're right.
One is aware that this shit ain't real, and then the other one is aware that she's in the MCU.
Yeah, but she's playing
a character. In the MCU. It's different. So like that's why it never really worked for me. Even when she was doing that whole dating thing where she looked at the camera, I'm like, I'm not proud of this. I'm like, but you're doing it though. Like
No, I get that. Because y'all not the only ones. I've had other friends who were like, I was enjoying the finale, then that happened, and I was kind of confused. So I see it. It was a bit of a disconnect with some people. So yeah. So yeah, but it is what it is on that one. So I think we kind of may all agree with this, but I'm gonna go with Critical first. Who's your MVP of the series?
Oh man, my MVP of the series is Tatiana Maslany. Am I saying her name correctly, AK?
That sounds about right.
Tatiana Maslany. Yep.
Yeah, when I saw her when she before she got ghosted, when the dude found out she was a She-Hulk and she had on that shirt with those legs, I was like, yo, why are they not picking her on these dating sites? You know what I'm saying?
It's fucking stupid.
And then ever since then, I started getting a little liking toward it every episode. I'm like, man, I'm starting to like this doggone actress. This is terrible.
Her and Charlie Cox had really good chemistry. I was surprised at how well they did.
I was actually very surprised at that.
Yeah. So she would be my MVP.
All right. AK, who's your MVP of She-Hulk?
Okay. So I was thinking you were asking specifically characters. So you
characters or just whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for the actor side, I will absolutely agree with Critical on that one. Yeah, Tatiana, she got it hands down. For characters, though, I'm gonna say Nikki, because anytime Jen was falling down, she was doubting herself. Nikki was in like, nah, from day one, ride or die. When the whole thing happened and they found the website. And Mallory was like, okay, no, we can't tell her because ABC. Next thing we saw was Nikki in the car like, Jen!
Right.
This bullshit.
And they talking shit on the internet.
Always down for the block. And my man, actually, I got to give it to both of them. That right there. Pug? Nikki and Pug are the dynamic duo. They're like, the term, the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
They're the guys in the chair.
Yeah.
And they were the perfect ones to be in the background on the back end helping Jen and She-Hulk through this whole thing. I love their chemistry working together, and they're both just so good, genuine people.
Yeah. When
Pug was reminding me of Matthew McConaughey off of Wolf of Wall Street.
Like, see, when he comes on, you think he might be a little asshole playboy, but he's totally not. He literally gave her like, yo, this is the best restroom to go to poop in, because after when you at the job, sometimes you can't hold it. Okay, you need to know what's the right stall to go to at like what time of day to make sure
exactly
you can handle your business.
I do think, to that point, I do think the guy, because he was one of my favorite characters too. Because my first introduction of him, I've seen like the first time me seeing him play anything was in Arrow.
He was
what's
Brother Blood. Yeah, he was the villain.
He was
not Brother Blood. He was
he
was Prometheus. That was a good season. That was the last good season.
It was the last good season. But I'll
say this. 5? Yeah,
it was season 5. The reason why I bring that up is because he played such a good villain. I thought he would have been a great antagonist to be the guy leading the charge against She-Hulk. It would have been such a game changer.
I love that they didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I thought those two are great. Yeah, those two working together collectively. Actually, I'll give the MVP character to both of them, because day in, day out, in every situation we saw, they absolutely had Jen's back. Whether it was Jen going into a situation as Jen or Jen going into a situation as She-Hulk. Hi, tiny human. They were doing the things. Aww. I love tiny humans. Tiny humans are our future. We need to love and teach them correctly.
That's like True Blood, isn't it? Tiny humans.
Yes, tiny humans. Oh. Well, she's not tiny anymore. She's a young woman.
Alex, who would be your MVP?
This is the MVP that I'm not hearing many people talk about. Okay. It's the suit designer. That dude, Luke was like, at first when he first came on screen, I was like, he's kind of like an arrogant asshole.
He's holding it down though.
When he was being sued, he said, "Listen, I don't make mistakes.
Yeah, I don't make bullshit."
Which kind of makes me think, and maybe I could be wrong. I think we're going to see more of him and other characters get their suits from them. And who's to say? I mean, we know that. Sam ultimately got his cap suit from Wakanda. Who's to say
everybody don't got a Wakanda connect though?
Exactly, but who's to say, if this brother may make something for Wakanda. We don't know. I doubt it, but you know,
Shuri does like to champion, our people of color though. So
right, because what we saw from that trailer, Riri was brought into Wakanda. So we don't know, but I would say that suit designer was actually really sure of himself. He was really cool. Obviously Tatiana Maslany was actually really dope as She-Hulk. I think she had a lot of great parts in the show to a certain extent. I just feel bad for her because I know how great of an actor she is. Her writing staff really failed her. And that's where I feel as though she could have blossomed a whole lot. And I think the show failed for me because I was expecting like Law and Order versus comedy in the MCU.
Yeah. Well, they said the head writer has said that like the team was not experienced with legal drama, and I'm like, well, why the fuck did they hire you?
Well, exactly, because like the best scenes, in my opinion, the best scene in that whole show is where Matt Murdock and Tatiana are actually duking it out legally. I'm like, this is what I want to see.
That's what I said. That's why that was the best episode. That had the balance. Yeah.
She starts like, who the hell is this asshole?
Yeah.
And then it's tit for tat on that. And in the sidelines, kudos to you for pointing it out. Luke is on the side. As soon as Daredevil makes a point, Luke was like,
Yep.
Like, all of the face acting. Perfect.
Luke like, I don't make bullshit.
Yeah, and this was and also I forgot to bring this up. They finally acknowledged that the Sokovia Accords have been
not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I guess now, because like a lot of people kept questioning the fact, well, Spider-Man being revealed is actually not that big of a deal, but I see why now it was a big of a deal because he's a kid and he didn't want his identity out there.
Yeah.
More than anything, he's a minor, so the Sokovian Accords shouldn't have even come into effect. He is a child,
right? Yeah, he's still in school, but I really enjoyed the designer and She-Hulk. I would say Bruce. I think Bruce was really good in the first episode, but then you see him sprinkle out. Not Bruce. I'm sorry. Abomination was good in that one episode where she's defending him. But I never believed he was like a peacekeeper guy. Like I all thought
it's all a hustle.
I thought it was all a hustle because I think
where the money is.
I think he's going to be in Thunderbolts, and he's going to be our substitution of Red Hulk. I don't think we're getting Red Hulk.
Well, you know the rumor that they recast Thunderbolt Ross with Harrison Ford. That's the rumor.
But the reason why I say I don't think we're getting Red Hulk is because, and I don't want to seem ageist, but I think Harrison has maybe another 5 or 6 years on this planet.
Me and AK was talking about this on Twitter. Yeah, we was talking about this on Twitter.
Harrison has about a few more years with us.
Okay, but he's not gonna be doing none of his mocap though.
No, he ain't gonna do that.
That's why you're
somebody else.
Okay, even if it was William Hurt, they would still bring in somebody else.
Yeah, they would bring somebody else. Yeah.
So
he just gonna get that check.
He's 80.
He gonna do his talking scenes in his business suit, and then he gonna piece the fuck out and crash another plane. That's all he gonna do.
Look, isn't that what he said in the interview? Like he was sitting there, like, I said, I don't know, and then Feige was like, "How much?" And I was like, "Well, of course, if Kevin Feige calls you and he says how much,
right?
Look,
then show me the money, goddamn.
Who isn't gonna get back up in the game? I see a ghost of a face.
Oh, that's critical.
I think that's Crit trying to get his camera on. You all right?
I'm trying to get stronger so I can break through, but I'm not strong yet.
You gotta break through the shadow realm. The shadow realm
it's like ghosts. He's like packing sways and trying to say hi. Like goddamn.
That low key looks kind of sick though.
But ultimately, I do think the show I had a lot of missed opportunities, but the MVPs, definitely Tatiana, and then the suit design. I wish we saw more of him though, because I
did like him. He grew on. I did like him.
Luke was good. Luke was really good.
That was good. He did good on top.
Him a lot.
For me, including Luke, I'm gonna go with Tatiana. She was great, and I'm gonna just give it to Charlie Cox because he was dope as well.
Their chemistry on screen,
their chemistry was great.
So good.
Yeah.
From the minute they came in, and that bar scene where he started the flirting, and they've been going. They were going back and forth since that time. It was great.
That was dope.
Him back in the role.
Real quick, did anyone ever feel like, at a point when you were watching this is like, when's this Daredevil episode gonna come out? Like, I'm just waiting for.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was yeah.
When we gonna
After
get the Daredevil
episode 4, when I didn't like episode 4, I was like, okay, let's just get Daredevil there. I was trying to hang with you. Me and Ian was talking about this. I wish he was still here because he inspired this, but I was trying to hang with him. But after a while, it was like
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Yeah, so
Not Tyra Banks.
It was something sort of like that. It was like, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like,
what the hell was that?
So they kind of was dragging it out a little bit. So and that's weird. We don't know because we've done 6 episodes, we've done 9, and we still don't know quite what the right balance is for all of this. Because sometimes you think, 9 they're gonna get it right, and then we get this, or 6 is clearly not enough episodes. So
like they were working towards it. They were working towards it, and then there's too many marks that they missed. Like Alex said, there was a lot of missed opportunities and places where things could have been done differently to get the effect that they really wanted. So if there's a season 2, I would just hope that they again show how conscious they are of what they are and how social media is going to react to that, and they just do better.
Yeah, I don't need another. I don't need another second season of them. Like, well, we know the internet's going to do this, so let's just there. I'm like, no, something else, please.
Charlie Cox did
give me. Go ahead, Alex.
I'll just real quick. Charlie Cox did say that she is in Daredevil Born Again, so
did he say that?
we're definitely going to see. We're definitely going to see her again. Okay. But I'd rather see her sprinkled in other shows and movies.
Yeah,
I personally don't want to see season 2.
Another 2, yeah. If it's the same showrunners, I could pass on the season 2.
I wouldn't mind seeing the season 2. Like if they can stick to like situations or like criminal activities, and she has to defend them or go against them, like almost like a Law and Order. If it's like a superhero Law and Order,
that'd be cool.
Almost.
That's what I thought we were going to get.
That's
I thought that's what we were going to get.
Law and Order, I'd watch it.
I think I don't want like straight Law and Order because I think that
that's super serious. Right.
That could run a little too dark. But give me a bit of Ally McBeal, mixed in with some Boston Legal, something with some good comedy chops behind it. Because it can be done. It's been done before. This isn't something new. This they don't have to figure this formula out. They just need to follow the information.
It could definitely be
Night Court. Oh, that's perfect. That's a perfect comparison right there. Night Court. Yes.
It would be perfectly blended. Like all I keep thinking about is that season of Daredevil, season 3, where there's somebody impersonating Daredevil, right? Bullseye impersonating Daredevil. Bullseye, can you imagine if they threw the element in She-Hulk where she has to defend Daredevil being impersonated and it becomes serious?
That sounds good. That sounds like a good idea. That's a good idea.
Do that. Would even with a Night Court setting, you could absolutely work that in. That would be perfect. Because there's a lot of Night Court episodes that had some very serious things going on in there, and it all still worked if it's written right.
Right, and then throwing the comedy element of Matt, do you really think a blind guy is dressed up as Daredevil defending the city? Do you really believe they're going to believe you as Daredevil? Like if they threw in those elements for a season 2, I'd come back and watch it. But like you said,
what
it has
would be
to be
really
blended.
cool? What could actually work for that angle that you just put in? Mm-hmm. I guarantee you there's a very good case to be made to why he could actually be Daredevil, and that's the argument that like the other side would come in with, and like that. Oh yeah, that back and forth, gold if it's written the right way.
Right. So that's why I felt like it fell short. I do want that blended. I wanted a legal procedural comedy in the MCU because the whole thing was set up. She's supposed to be defending at least superheroes or superpowered humans with abilities.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see that much in that. And like I thought that even when she defended Abomination to get him out, I'm like, Wong's gonna bust him out anyway. So this is a pointless episode.
Pointless, it was too pointless. That's what I said. It was like, what are we doing?
Exactly.
That's what I say. I don't get the relationship. I like we had it in Shang-Chi, and it didn't make sense. We get it in here, still didn't really make sense. And then at the end, It's like, what are we doing?
I asked this when me and my boys had talked about that episode. How do y'all not have any type of sensors in that room to where y'all could tell this asshole is gone? You saw that this happened before.
That's a good point.
How is he getting out?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I understand Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, and yes, I get it. He can do some things, but you saw that this has happened already. What precautions were done to keep him in there?
To prevent it,
why are you putting him back in there in the first place? Leave him in
there. Yeah, that's a good point.
And you know where he is.
That's why I said damage control is ass. They need to bring back Shield because
what happened to them? Where did they disappear to? They showed up in the episode just to catch her going off the rails, hulking out after she got exposed on that screen. First of all, there was nothing that they put on that screen that wasn't in anybody's regular phone. They showed her bank information, her dating profile. She has pictures of Captain America's ass. So what? I have pictures of her ass on my phone.
Thank you.
What the hell was so damning about any of
that? That didn't make any. That was. I wasn't gonna get to it, but that didn't make any. When the premiere started, and she's locked up. I'm like, why is she locked up?
And everyone's mad.
Right? People are mad.
She got upset because
she got
was
fired.
Violated.
Right? Thank you. I'm like, her boss. Look, her boss has seen her doing goofy shit the entire season, but this is the final straw. That was weird. It made no sense to me.
Was in Todd's back pocket the whole time because
if they would have roped that in,
he could have helped her.
Yeah,
but he did, and he should have because he's in charge.
That's a good point. Now, if that was tied in with the writing, but like, oh, Todd kind of paid me off, missed opportunity, then I could see it. But him just dropping her after seeing her dancing and doing all this other type of dumb shit. It's like you hired a Hulk. You should know what you're gonna get with hiring a Hulk.
You should
especially if she's a superhero defense attorney. You should expect some fucking. Why would you
are a let her go? I mean, the first thing how did you not have her protected against all of this in the first place?
Exactly. Say it, Alex. Go ahead and say it, Alex. I know
but
you're about to say
in the first episode, she literally turned into the Hulk and threw Titania through a wall, and no one decided to arrest her ass then.
That was the reason he hired her. That was the reason he hired her.
So the moment she loses it, now all of a sudden she's unstable.
Right.
So she throws a criminal through a wall right by the judge. No one wants to throw her in contempt.
No. The judge don't see nothing wrong with that.
They don't see nothing wrong with that. But we gonna throw her in jail because she was essentially sexually violated. I mean,
yes, she got me too.
And not only that, they had the damn DCDU outside waiting for that to happen because it should have been regular cops showing up, but they were already there on site.
Yeah, they got there fast as hell.
So
exactly.
This was very clearly
weird
planned.
Setup. Yeah.
For some
terrible writing.
Dumb nonsense.
Or bad writing. Yeah. Or bad writing. You're right, Chris.
I think that scene though would have stuck a little bit harder if they were revealing, like, if that guy took pictures of her as She-Hulk or as Jennifer Walters naked and then posted them,
all
but Marvel
he did
blurring
was put
out
up
those things.
An almost sex tape.
Yeah.
That was recorded.
That's what they were hinting
her
to.
knowledge.
It's a kid's show, so
which,
I get why they didn't go
that dumb.
Yeah, because we did see that, but I'm like, if we kind of got like that visual, I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
Because I felt for her then, but I would still feel for her like, I would be snapping off heads. Because here's the thing,
she
killing in the
absolutely
MCU
had a right to be upset.
Exactly, because killing in the MCU is not necessarily frowned upon that much as we think. Because Captain America did it, so like it's not really frowned upon. So if she were to start hulking out and start killing motherfuckers, I wouldn't feel bad. I'd be like, well, you did do this.
I'd be like, well, that's what happened when you didn't listen to Bruce.
She snatched up the asshole who I'm pretty sure was Todd.
It kind of looked like it could have been Todd.
Snatched him up right there and didn't let her pull off the mask, but she was made to drop him, and they let this asshole get away.
Run away.
Exactly. That is clearly one of the bad guys in a mask.
Let him get away.
And y'all didn't stop him.
What the fuck? Made no sense. Well, my head was hurting when I watched that shit. I was like,
but she's the bad guy for being mad at being violated.
Go ahead, Chris.
In that defense, I would say that group in that situation, that special task force, are for superhumans. Like robbers, criminals, and all of that, they probably are not going to go for them. That's the police.
He's a person of interest, though.
But the thing is, they don't have superpowers. Their main thing is to stop people with superpowers. So if it was people with superpowers doing it, yeah, they should. Y'all would have a great argument. But by them not having
How would
superpowers,
he know? How would they know that though?
Sounds like you need some sentinels if you ask me.
They only came at the person that used their superpowers. They didn't come at the person that used technology. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way I would say. You know what I'm saying?
For the defense. No, I get it. No, I get it though. I
get what you're saying, but like if that's the case, if that's truly the case of what you're saying, then I feel as though Iron Man fits that category. He don't have superpowers.
Easily.
He has a suit that he fucks people up with, and you know,
and Jen is supposed to be in the form that she's in. She was at a company event.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like he, you know, and if let's say if Iron Man, I think the response would be different if Iron Man were to go around start shooting motherfuckers, and they would say, "Oh, we're not going to arrest him because he's not a superhuman. He's in a suit. What the fuck?" Like,
but he was for it though. You know, like Iron Man was for it. So like if Iron Man was with Captain America, he would be a vigilante too. But he was for it. But you're right though, like that. Even though
that's
true. Yeah, he was.
If he doesn't have powers, like if he was just walking around normal, just doing stuff and doing hacking stuff, they probably wouldn't come after him. But yeah, since he does have a suit, I think they would be on his list. He would be on their list. You know, and I think that's what's up with this group. This group here is just a hacking group that hurt her feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like they could get in trouble with the police by, you know, like I don't know what the terms would be. By invasion of privacy or something like that.
It's invasion of privacy and defamation of character. And again, she's a high-powered attorney that works for a world-class law firm.
But with that though, I don't even. But
they could easily be wiped out.
From a legal standpoint, though, I don't think they go to jail. To his point, I don't think they go to jail. They can make it fine.
They'll probably have to pay some shit. They'll probably.
They're not because like to that point, like they did something very, very illegal. But we also know when leaks get leaked out, especially now in our real world and social media, most people pay a fine. They don't go to jail.
That depends on who's behind. That depends on who's behind it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen some shit in some high profile cases, and I think
but
this would count as a high profile
lives
case,
in danger.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. She-Hulk was putting lives in danger. I mean, you know, you had
because she punched the TV.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't that bad.
All she did was punch the TV. All the lights and shit that happened.
Yeah, like I said, Abomination broke
Nobody was in danger.
Right, Abomination broke
Harlem. That's why people had to evacuate.
Well, I mean,
if no danger, everybody would have stayed.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay, how was the danger? I'm saying how was the?
That's property damage. You'll get detained for like 24 hours and then you release. You don't have to sign a whole parole to give up your powers.
Yeah, that's the. They just took it to an extra.
Yeah, they did. They went above and beyond with that one.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
All of the extra.
But I like the stuff you're bringing up, Crit. Though I'm not, I'm just.
No.
Oh yeah,
thanks. Be on the other side right now.
Yeah. You give another side. I ain't mad at you. You bringing up good stuff. You bringing up good stuff.
Absolutely.
But
the debate is what it's about. That's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Since y'all want to get mad and shit about me liking Hawkeye more, let's. I want to start with old Alex here. How would you rank the shows so far, if you can think of them all?
Okay, so if we're ranking all Disney Plus shows, Marvel, the Marvel,
just the shows, yes. The Disney
for me, it would be WandaVision, Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Actually, no, I would put, because I know this is not a show, but it is Disney Plus. I'd put Werewolf by Night under.
See, did you count that? Because I'm kind of counting it as a movie. So
so I wouldn't put that. So we'll do. Okay. My first pick, WandaVision, because I still love WandaVision. Second, I really enjoyed Moon Knight. Third would be Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Fourth would be I'd probably say Loki to an extent. And then I would go, whoa, my screen's falling down. I would go I would go Loki, and then maybe She-Hulk, and then Hawkeye would be last because I'm not gonna lie.
What about Miss Marvel? You forgot about Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, Miss Marvel.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
put Miss
Shit.
Marvel.
Where does Miss
Actually,
Marvel
I would make Miss Marvel number 4 under Falcon and Winter Soldier. I actually like Miss Marvel because of the fact it was literally a teen show. Like it
Yes.
stayed in it
I
stayed
really
in
like
its
Miss
lane.
Marvel.
But with Hawkeye, I think Hawkeye was a really big missed opportunity because it did things that I don't believe that would actually really happen in the MCU. Kate Bishop, who's just now learning how to be a badass, fighting against Kingpin. I just cannot. Like, we've seen this man take off the heads of people with a car door.
That's a different universe.
With a bow and arrow.
That's a different universe.
No fighting skills at all.
And then with the whole that whole show, they try to make Echo a badass. Really?
Hey, she got her own show. We'll see more.
She gets her own show now. I don't have high hopes for it.
I don't. I think
if they keep it
really
mature,
bad,
I think it'll be fine. But we'll see.
I hope to be proven wrong because I am not looking forward to Echo. But Echo does not. Echo seems like, and I don't mean this by any disrespect to any women who actually struggle with being mute and amputated.
No, not at all.
But I feel like that was the perfect way to pander to people like who feel as though that who feel as though they can relate to a character who doesn't provide that much substance. Like I didn't believe she was angry at the Ronin character. I didn't believe that shit at all. Like, and then
so you didn't say you didn't think she was a good actress, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I didn't believe the fact that
if you look at the logic of the situation, it makes no sense that she would be mad at him.
Exactly, and I didn't believe that her and Kingpin had a really great relationship. Like what
at all? They talked like 3 times.
He rubbed her chin after karate class.
He
brought her. He took her to get some ice cream.
Got her some ice cream.
Exactly. So I didn't believe that shit at all. For me personally, I think Hawkeye is the last little bit show that's at the end, but overall, She-Hulk is literally the second to last. Like I said, that ending, throughout the whole show, but that ending really just fucked it up for everything.
Okay. I mean, all right, AK, if you can do your rankings, if you got an idea.
Yeah. Actually, just now, put it out. I'm kind of skeptical on a few placements, but no. Okay, so I was gonna say Loki first, but I'm actually gonna go with WandaVision first.
Okay.
I really, really liked a lot of the elements that they brought in with WandaVision. Loki, because of all the timey-wimey and the weirdness of it all, and also B-15 on the TVA, Ruby from Lovecraft Country.
Oh, yeah. I hate Ruby.
And okay, so after that, number 3, I'm gonna go with What If, because I liked where a lot of those.
Yeah, that's right, AK. Get it good. That's right, AK.
The building blocks in for so many things that we know are coming. I love that. I loved all of that. And then I'm gonna go with Miss Marvel because I very much agree that it was a show that was for kids. It stayed in the kids' lane, and they pulled in everything. They changed her powers a little bit. They tweaked it, and they made it so much about her culture, and she's a fan of Marvel as a whole. Like, she would walk onto set where her own made MCU Bible of notes. Yeah. So I love that a fan actually got to be a star in one of these shows in the MCU now. So that's like 3 different layers of the nerdgasm that I loved with everything with Miss Marvel. Then Moon Knight, because there's too much to even list on why that was awesome. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's down low on the list. I really did like a lot of those elements, but I don't know. Moon Knight kicked it off that spot. Okay, and I'll go She-Hulk. I really love She-Hulk, but it's near the bottom because there's too many missed opportunities, and when they missed, they really missed. So that's down there. And then Hawkeye, I did like some things about it, but there's more background, more information that I want on other characters. Echo was not one of those characters. Kate Bishop's mom, who is played by one of the best actresses in the game.
Yes, so underused.
You also do not put a character in there that you can see walking and is being followed by a Black Widow operative, a very skilled Black Widow operative, and she turns around and makes her like that What is her backstory? Give me a TV show about that bitch. That's what I want to know about. Because you don't just make a Black Widow operative following you. She turns and looks right at Yelena like, bitch, I see you. And goes right about her business.
Right.
There's a lot going on there. I want to know that story.
So many plot holes. And to that point, real quick, I think it would have been a little bit more interesting if Kate Bishop's mom and Kingpin, like, let's just say that Kingpin is the father of Kate Bishop. That would have changed the game.
That would have been even more interesting.
That would have been different,
game.
Because they were already connected. She took over Dad's villainy and boss level when he died. And he was already, I guess, thinking about getting out the game because, you know, there was some other shit going on. But he died. And she took over all of that. And they still have that working relationship. So, yeah, do something there.
Yeah, but like that a trained Black Widow operative being spotted by technically a civilian
that
that doesn't make any sense. And Elena is supposed to be like the badass, like
she's supposed to be experienced.
And Yelena caught that because you saw she pulled back like, oh wait, hold on.
Yeah,
and they showed her very much calculating. Did that bitch really? Did she just see me?
Yeah,
not did she look at me, but no, did she see me? She looked at her and knew exactly why she was there. Right. That's what makes that moment significant, and we never heard anything about it again.
Yep.
If Vera Farmiga is tapped for such a small role, you best believe we're going to see her again in the MCU.
Oh yeah,
I hope so.
At least I hope so. Yeah,
I hope so. Well, she'll probably be in the Echo. She'll probably be in the Echo show, I would assume. Craig, how you ranking the show so far?
All right, so far I have Loki.
I love that you're in the Shadow Realm right now. I know,
right? That shit is scary.
I know that's not what you were going for, but it looks great.
Yo, you look like a Black Zordon.
I was just about to say you look like Zordon, bro. I was just about to say you look like Zordon. I was just about to say that. I swear to God, I was just about to say that.
Come
forth. I love it.
That's trouble in Angel Grove.
But so I definitely picked Loki for my number one. I definitely like the going for the alternate universes, like the finding out the man who remains or the one who remains. I thought that was amazing. That really, like, I saw that show like multiple times, so that really blew my mind. Number two, I have to go with the best action, probably superhero series ever. That had the best action. I have to be Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know what I mean? And like I definitely enjoyed, where the storyline was going, and then I have to go with Wanda. Very creative. It definitely kept me into the loop. I wanted to watch every week what was going on, and plus it started everything off. My fourth one would be Miss Marvel. I mean, it's a teen coming of age. It's from a female storyline point of view, but still, it made me remember when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? In different situations, I like the culture that they brought in their religion. You know what I mean? Like, it was kiddie. Don't get me wrong. But I thought that was still cool, though.
That's what it was supposed to be.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, I didn't ask to be here, sir. No. Can I leave now? She was not having none of your shenanigans.
So then, my next one would be Hawkeye. I really thought Hawkeye was funny. Like, I laughed a lot on Hawkeye. I think out of all the series, I laughed the most on Hawkeye.
Crazy.
As for
I say that's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that she wants to be seen, but she don't want to talk, so she just going in the background.
Exactly. And she's knocking down stuff too. Like, come on.
For next, I pick She-Hulk. It's interesting to see the life of a female superhero. Somebody who doesn't want that role. You know what I mean? But you have to figure out how to like be in between your real life and also the superhero life. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't want it. And then eventually we see that she started to want it. She started to get jealous when Titania started to take the name.
Yeah, took the name and everything.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. My next one, but this is a tie though. This is tied with She-Hulk. My next one is Moon Knight. It's tied with She-Hulk with me. I definitely
would have had that higher.
Huh?
I thought you would have had Moon Knight higher. I thought never mind.
I probably did, but after a while, I think that ending killed it for me. I definitely like the psychology and the visuals, you know what I mean? But it kind of, that ending, how it ended, the Avatar ending, I wasn't really feeling that too tough. But but even though this is low on the totem pole, I think these are still good. And What If is next. Like I said, even though it's low on the totem pole, it's not that I think it's whack. It's just that the others were so much more interesting to me. And last but not least, Iron Fist sucked.
I don't even know where you're counting that. That's Netflix.
Why is that even?
I mean,
why we bringing that up? Why were you bringing that up?
Disney Plus original now.
We said Disney Plus original, sir.
Disney
there was
Plus,
no reason for you to mention the Night of the Flowers. Okay, he should have kept his ass at High Garden in Westeros. Nobody wanted to see that.
In defense of Iron Fist to an extent, season 2 was much better. It's still trash.
It was slightly better.
Season 2 was better, but all of his side characters were better than him. Actually, homegirl Colleen, she also came from Game of Thrones, and she handled her business. I want to see more of her.
All he kept saying was, "It's me, Danny Rand." That's all he kept saying.
Right. I'm the mortal Iron Fist. Shut up.
My bro, shut up, please.
Suck ass.
My bad. I didn't mean to bring it up. It was a joke. My bad.
No, you good. You good.
My bad, bro.
You just wanted to cause some discourse.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The crit our lists are kind of similar, not too different. But one, I got Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really enjoyed the all the stuff with Isaiah Bradley. I thought was really great. That stuff was really dope. I got
Introduction to Patriot.
That too. Yep. And what's his name? Walker. I want to see where that's going.
Oh man, I would love to see that too. Play Isaiah. Oh god.
Yep.
Now WandaVision is at 2 because that was pretty. I mean, like you said, that was one of the first ones. Everybody was enticed by it. I enjoyed it. I got Miss Marvel at 3. Okay. Even though I thought the villains sucked ass, in spite of that, I thought just the lead actress and all the stuff about the culture and the fun teen stuff I thought was great. Loki at 4, mainly because that finale I thought was really dope and how he came through and all of that. But Loki was a really fun time. I got What If at 5 because What If was dope as shit, and I loved all the the concept and all of that, and the animation was kind of hit or miss, but the stories were cool for the most part. 6, I got Hawkeye. You hear that, Alex? Hawkeye's at 6. It's not at the bottom. I got Hawkeye. I enjoyed it. It was, fun. It could be better though. I would agree. In terms of the, with Werewolf by Night, they did the special presentation stuff. I think Hawkeye probably should have been one of those.
I just had a revelation. Brogi's probably part of the tracksuit game. That's why.
I might be. I might owe them some money.
Not the tracksuit game.
At the Hawkeye, I got She-Hulk because even though I had my issues with it, it definitely felt like they were the source material. They were really following the source material in a somewhat interesting way. Moon Knight I got at the bottom mainly because I fucking hate Stephen Grant, and I hate that whenever we got to the action, we would
mad at
Whenever we got to the action, we would black out, and then we would go back to his dumb face. Oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. No,
I want to point out all of Brogi's subscribers and followers.
The action is good-ish
on TV that he hates superheroes with mental health issues. I want to
don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, I see a rhythm going.
Is there a pattern? Well, no, because I like the Hulk. He's got mental issues. I like the Hulk.
That's true. I'm just joking, everybody.
Okay, but that's not a thing. That's not highlighted in his character.
I like Homelander. He got hella mental issues. So that's anyway. Is that a good example? That's a good example.
I mean, that's a good, because Homelander is the only guy who would literally ejaculate on a city. Like that's disgusting.
No, you forgetting about little Aegon Targaryen over there.
Oh yeah.
King's Landing.
That was wild. So yeah, but Moon Knight, I was just a little disappointed because it was like the acting is good, some of the visuals are good. They had its moments, but I was still frustrated with how they kind of set that up. But hopefully we'll get a second season and we'll, do better. But yeah, that's just kind of my quick rankings. But so that's She-Hulk. I think we done enough about She-Hulk, man. But this is fun. Happy.
It's always a good time.
My rating.
Always a good time.
Oh yeah, go give your rating because I can do that for you.
I'm gonna give you 3 right cheek twerk, 3.5 left cheek twerk. Right. That equals 6.5 twerk.
That's 6. You're 6.5. All right.
6.5 twerk.
Yeah, the 6. I agree. No, that's good. That's a good one right there. You got a rating for She-Hulk, AK? Or do I hop to Alex? You got one, Alex?
Are we doing it at a 10?
I'm going out of 10. That's how I do mine. Do yours?
Yeah,
do
I
yours?
would probably give it a 4.5 out of 10. I think it had a really good start, but
Right.
like over time, we just got a lot of things that just didn't pan out for me. So I would say probably a 4.5 out of 10. It's not the worst. It's not the worst, but I will say to its credit, it did leave me wanting more in terms of what are we going to see more from Jen? You know, is she going to move in with Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen? That would be pretty cool, I guess. So, you know,
I think it's going to lead to her starting her own law firm.
I can see that
because the way Daredevil broke it down for her when they were talking, like, you know, Jen Walters can help when superheroes fail, and She-Hulk can help when the law fails. That's a perfect way to put it. And she operates with enough anonymity. Is that the right word? My words are jumbled right now, but y'all know what I mean. I think she operates on a level to where she can do both of those things without having to cover her face or who she is.
And real quick, I would like to say, this is the first superhero in California.
Iron Man was in Cali.
No, I thought he was in New York.
He was in Cali.
No. He did he start?
He started in Cali,
or he started in Cali and then went to New York.
Yes, right. Iron Man 2 was when he went over to New York.
Oh, okay, because like most of the MCU, took place in New York and he's all the way in Cali. Yeah. So which I thought was pretty interesting.
That kind of threw me a little bit.
That's our intro for West Coast Avengers, I believe. I actually thought we were gonna get an after credit scene of, instead of Wong and Emil doing what we knew they were gonna do, but of White Vision, because we haven't seen where he has disappeared to.
That would have
been a very big part. He's a very big part of the West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, that would have been kind of shocking if they did that. Did you go?
So no, I did not. I do want to see more, but they definitely need to correct their mistakes. So I don't remember what I rated it when I did it with the boys on DJ's channel. So, but for here, I'm going to go with 5.5 twerking butt cheeks.
Okay.
Out of 10. So, you know, the twerk was admissible, but you know, it could have been a little more bounce in there.
Okay. I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10 ugly ass suits. That's what I'm gonna give it. 6 out of 10 ugly ass suits.
Oh wow.
Them suits were terrible. I was waiting for them to get her some good clothes. Them damn Shaq suits they had her walking in. I was like, this don't make no goddamn sense.
Did y'all like her battle suit?
No.
It fits the profile. I see what they were trying to do. Like, it's not the full leotard.
Yeah,
but
that's
like what's behind me, that's what she wears in
the comics. I prefer that with the gloves.
Female superhero suits, we still got to work on it.
Her in the track suit, the track shoes and shit. I was like,
they could have put her in some actual pants.
Well, that too.
I understand that her skin is impenetrable, but you don't know how quickly somebody's gonna come up with something, and we saw that come up with something to prick your skin. So you still need to be protected.
Yeah.
In there, and I think Luke should know better because he's skilled.
It was a prototype. It was a prototype. It was the first suit. It was a prototype.
Okay, we'll give him that one low pass because it's the beginning. All right, we'll see.
Quick question: what did they do with the serum when they abstracted her blood? What did they do with that?
That's how Todd got the powers. Remember at the meeting.
At the meeting where
I'm confused.
Well,
at the meeting at the lodge.
Yeah, remember?
Right. Oh, I thought that was like retcon.
I'm assuming it was.
They retconned the whole thing. They
retconned the whole thing.
All of this shit was just not true. Yes. That's basically what they
did.
That's
basically what happened.
They said none of that shit happened.
So it happened, but they made it so he didn't win, but they didn't give like no real explanation.
True. Right. Okay. No, you're right. Okay.
Because
he could still pop up with some powers or some fuck shit. But,
and I think that's where we're gonna see. You know, if we get a season 2, that's where we're gonna see the leader come in and actually do some intelligent shit. because
Yeah.
Todd's just a dude bro incel that don't really even know what the fuck to do
But
with
do
powers.
y'all think the leader could die though in the new Cap movie or potentially Thunderbolts? Because he's in both of those.
I don't see the point. I don't see the
you
point of
think he
killing
could
him.
die?
I mean, he's been gone for 15 years. I
He's
don't
been
see the
gone for
point of
15
killing
years,
him.
but if he's been gone that long, like
has he been
I don't
gone,
see
or
him,
we just don't know what he's been doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's true too. But like when we bring him back in Cap, because I think that's his first appearance as Cap, Captain America, and we see him again in Thunderbolts. My thing is that after Thunderbolts, I don't really see a use for him. Like,
well,
I mean,
like I said, if they get rid of that Universal
deal together,
together, we might be seeing more Hulk stuff. So, who knows?
Yeah, because I would love to see an actual live action World War Hulk movie.
Yeah, I would too.
Illuminati and all that. That would be dope.
Yeah,
that would be very, very, very interesting.
We might get it for the animation, the Marvel What If? We might
get
that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that would be dope. I would love to see
What
that.
If they got Marvel Zombies, so yeah, you're right. They could do that there too.
Yeah. I forgot we're getting the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, they said that's gonna be 4 episodes.
4 episodes, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
here
they are mature rated, so.
It was very interesting, where they started to go with that, and how would you deal with the freaking undead Scarlet Witch?
Yeah, that
has conscious use
crazy.
of her
powers. It could still use the powers.
Fuck.
Like, no, that's the bullshit right there. What?
Yeah,
like she's already OP.
Right,
you got to be hella for her.
But so this is a question I did want to ask real quick before we let out, because Jen kind of mentioned this in the last episode where she says to Kevin, "Are we going to hear anything about the X-Men?" And Kevin says, "I can't talk about that right now." So we've been getting light digs about the X-Men. And then the last thing in this series is Wakanda Forever. And we got confirmation that Namor is a mutant. My question is, do you think we'll see Jen potentially involved with the X-Men? Like, do you think if they do make a season 2, because remember, in the comic book, she did fuck some of those people.
She did. She's been with the X-Men and on the Avengers.
I'd see her more with. Yeah, I'd see her more with Fantastic Four than the X-Men, though. That's just me in my head. But
I mean, I think the potential is there for her to bounce around and be connected with all of those.
Yeah.
Be there to
yeah, you're right. Because Namor's a mutant, but also Mr. Immortal that popped up. He's a mutant. That Eagle guy,
you know he's gonna be another lawyer.
He's a Miss Marvel's a mutant. The Eagle guy's a mutant. So they're kind of plopping them in here. They remember there was that Easter egg where there was a bar fight with some guy with knives in his hands or some shit like that. Remember everything was like episode.
Wolverine. That's like the 3rd or 4th Wolverine reference that we.
Yeah, so they're slowly hitting to it, but
absolutely.
I don't know how that's going to all blow up at whatever.
How exactly it's going to pull in,
yeah.
I don't know. And I'm very interested in the ages that they're going to start some of our main X-Men off of.
That too.
Because we have adult T'Challa, so that kind of means we should have at least
like an adult
mid-20s to late 20s Storm. So that means our whole first class needs to be adults. I don't think we need to see them as kids.
Yeah,
I will say this because I never asked y'all this because I know we haven't linked up in a minute, but what did y'all think about Hugh Jackman coming back for Deadpool 3, and where do you think it's going to be set in the
What's good, Cuba?
MCU? Because they kind of acknowledged it. They said that this movie is in the MCU, but we know this is Hugh's last movie. I believe this is his last movie. Wow.
I think Secret Wars is his last. Yeah.
Like they did Professor X, because we're in the multiverse now. So potentially all of those characters can be pulled back with the incursions coming in. We might just see their world die or something, or they will have to escape into someone else's reality. And all of the timey-wimey that can happen right now. So the way Feige actually did this to link everything collectively together with the multiverse was probably the best thing that you could do, because now you can tap into any of those characters at any given time. And we all know Wolverine, Hugh said that his last run was his last run a long time ago. I'm pretty sure if Feige sends anybody a check,
Ghosts,
they're gonna be like, Just send me what you need me to do, Kevin. I'll be right there. We got Charles Xavier back, and how much did Patrick Stewart also say that? Nah, this is the last run.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I genuinely believe this is it. I don't see you coming back after this.
I think Secret War is gonna be his last one.
It's either gonna be this or, like you said, Secret Wars. But
yeah,
personally, I don't think, because I firmly believe Kevin wants a new iteration of X-Men. And I know
we need that. We need that.
I can't say who because I'm not allowed to, but there is one actor I did talk to who did table readings for X-Men. Now they haven't started casting or anything like that, but they're gonna start a casting call for that next year. So I'm telling you, like they're going to start.
Was he young or was he kind of middle aged?
Was he even? He was a she.
He's in his 30s.
I have one big hope. Big hope for our first class of X-Men is I really, 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 really hope Yetide Badaki gets cast as Storm. And if you don't know who that is, that is baby girl from American Gods.
Oh yeah, her. Yeah, that's my pick. Yeah. I was saying that
she is my number one.
My number one
always thought should be Storm.
I was thinking. I'm glad you brought that up because in my head I was thinking the actress who played. She was in Black Lightning. She was the mom of the characters of
Black Lightning's kids.
I hear you're talking about.
She was Jefferson's
I don't remember her
wife.
name, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember her name, but that's a good. I can see that. I wouldn't be against that one.
I like Yetide because Yetide is actually African. And she naturally has that accent, so we that won't be an issue.
Hold on, I know.
I'm not going from my pick was now she doesn't have an accent. I definitely go with your pick, AK. But I was thinking about the young lady that plays Hillary Banks off of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the newest one, the latest one.
Okay, I was going to say Karen Parsons. I haven't watched that, so I don't know who that is.
Coco, what's her name? Coco. God damn,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
Coco Jones.
Coco Jones. That's it.
Yes. And another one comes to mind.
There's a rendering. There's a rendering of her as Storm. Brogi, search that real quick.
Oh,
there's a decent amount of fan art with Yetide as Storm already.
Yeah, don't fuck up. Hold on.
While y'all doing that, I was kind of hoping that
I'll do a search for it too, Brogi.
That we wouldn't get X-Men in the same universe as the Avengers. I want X-Men to have their own universe.
They are all in the same space.
I get it.
I get what you're saying, but we've already gotten that, and not all of their films are great. That's my
no. I'm just saying it could be done by Marvel, of course, but I'm just saying like how you have different multiple universes, like
right.
Have their own universe with their own problems. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! But, okay, there's another good one for her too. Hold on.
I think if you bring the X-Men into the MCU with our characters interacting, like the X-Men have such a political story, and you put that in the MCU, my god, like that would
especially if you get the two actors that I think people, and this is also another thing that's probably going to be a thing because it's a color switch, but a lot of folks are casting Denzel Washington as Magneto. And what's our boy
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo as Professor X, which
I like that.
Magnificent casting.
We did mention this before, yes, but it's getting stronger. So yeah,
I love it. I love it.
I'm fine with that.
It would fit. Let me.
I'm fine with Giancarlo.
If you could put me up on the kit, you'll see what I'm looking at here.
I see it.
Okay.
So this is
that's
one.
A good one.
This is one, and then there's this one.
That was the one I was just about. That was the one I was just about to put up.
There's also someone else actually that I just saw that I think could also fit this. And if you watch Pose, you know who she is.
I don't know who that is.
This young, I cannot think of her name right now. But she have you watched did any of you watch the last season of American Gods?
I have not gotten into that show.
I did.
She was the morph of Mr. World when he took on female form.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who Mr. Morph is. I know that show started off strong and then it kind of went left, but
it didn't hold on to the greatness that it was.
Hold on real quick. I want to address Cuba real quick. Cuba, as many times as you've been on this show, we've never seen your face. I don't know if you white, black.
That is correct.
Hispanic,
that is correct, sir.
Or you might be a scroll for all we know.
Yeah, he be lazy. Sometimes he'll pet his face on, and sometimes he don't. When he in his live streams, I don't
think I've ever seen Cuba.
I've never seen Cuba, but he's hilarious as hell every time he hops up on here.
Absolutely.
Talking crazy. He said he was gonna hop in, but I guess he ain't had nothing to say. I don't know. I sent him a link. Whatever. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, we can. Did you hit the like? Just don't forget to hit the like button.
Hit the like button, folks. I know we get off track a lot, but
this is
we're always still on par with the show that we're talking about, and we always reach into the future when we're talking about MCU things and what could happen.
You got to.
Yeah, exactly, because it's all relevant.
Yeah. All right. So we can. I guess we can start shutting this one down. I'm gonna start with Zordon here. Okay, let the people know where they can find you, bro.
You can find me at Critical Blue Reviews. Critical's Blue Reviews. That's where you can find me and all my Power Rangers.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Great. AK, I'm gonna let you go now. AK.
All right, yes. You can find me on AK Watch. Actually tonight, if you are a fan of House of the Dragon, I will be doing a live watch along. Yeah. I will not be actually showing the show. You have to have your own subscription for that, but we just sync up with the sound. We go through, and normally we've been doing a little after show right after that goes off. So it'll be me and Meeks usually. Maybe one of my cousins will pop in, and we'll do a thing. And then Monday, come back, and we will be talking about our 3 big points that we talk about. Myself, Lady Diligence, and Manic Meeks. Also on YouTube, y'all can find them under those names. And our very favorite section that we've developed is our There Be the Dragon section of our review. So come through and have some laughs with us and talk about these dragons.
Yeah, them dragons. All right. And Mr. Alex, Momentum Media. Let the people know where they can find you, bro.
The most famous one of us all.
Yeah, he got the insights and shit. Well, I heard who about to play Wolverine, but I can't say nothing. Okay, I
like the Method Man of the crew.
I want to point out. I brought that up. It was just an actor that I know who's been in a few things.
Yeah,
got table reads. Okay. Now, it wasn't Wolverine, by the way. It wasn't. He told me what it was, but it wasn't Wolverine. But just know, and
they working on it.
They're about to start pushing this very heavy. That's why I said I think X-Men is going to be in Phase 6. I personally believe that. But
I'm here for that.
We'll see. But you guys can find me on Momentum Media, and I don't care what they say. I'm not that famous, you guys. I'm just an average YouTuber.
No, you know.
Nice. Y'all go over to Alex's channel and see the interviews that he does with people.
I do know this. If you come to my channel, all the ladies who are watching, you will never be dry.
There you go.
Definitely.
Let the man get them wet now.
And my mic's not going to fall this time.
It was a green screen this time.
But yeah, you can find me on Momentum. You guys can find me at Momentum Media. Just type in Momentum Media. You'll find that my YouTube channel is the first thing that pops up. You can also follow me on Instagram. I do some creative stuff on Instagram too at Mr. Alex Hampton, all one word. I share some of my YouTube videos there as well on there too. So we're doing a lot of fun things with just some creating content, interviews, some celebrity interviews, and just a lot of fun stuff. So come on by, and I do a lot of collaborations with these guys. I love hanging with y'all, so I can't wait for us to continue to do this more. And I think next week you said
I'm doing Black Adam. We talked about that
Adam.
Black ass Adam. So
once we go see that movie, I can't wait to see.
Okay,
I can't wait
to see that so I can be on that.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see this. I hope it's a good movie. I heard
it's great.
I've heard nothing but good things so far. Yeah, I've people that have gotten the pre-screens.
Yeah, all the super fans who saw the pre-screening love the movie. I'm shocked.
I just can't believe The Rock as a super villain. I'm
glad
he's an anti-hero, sir. He's not a villain. He's an anti-hero.
That's the only reason it works with The Rock playing it, because he's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Well, he played a villain in wrestling.
That was the last time he played a villain. That was the last time.
Now he was a top villain, though.
He was top.
His skills have developed a lot more since then.
Do y'all realize this is the first time we're going to see The Rock with superpowers? I'm like,
Low-key.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing about that is? Maybe this just says some bad things about me. I'm not even going to see the movie for The Rock. I heard that Sarah Shahi was going to be in it, and I was like, "Ooh, Sarah Shahi." That's what.
Is that the lady playing the doctor?
That's the lady playing who was going to be the reincarnation, I believe, of Isis.
Yeah, she's playing Isis.
His wife. But I was a fan of hers since she played Carmen on The L Word many moons ago.
Oh, okay.
So,
I wasn't familiar.
So if you remember that old Dave Chappelle set where he was talking about, I watched The L Word on Showtime. That was actually a show. he wasn't just bullshitting. That wasn't a real show back in the day on Showtime. And Sarah Shahi is just sexy. So he said she was going to be in it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in.
The person that played Pinhead was on The L Word too. I can't think of her name.
Pinhead.
Hellraiser.
In the new Hellraiser?
Yeah, she was on The L Word.
What's that?
I think she's a transgender woman. I can't remember her name right now, but she's a transgender woman, and she was like playing.
Oh, do you mean the
new one? The new one
that played the doctor that was in Roadhouse? That character? Because you're saying transgender. I'm trying to.
Yeah, she was on. She was on The L Word, the Q or something. Q. Let me see.
What the new class
Jamie Clayton
of the L Word?
Jamie Clayton. She was in The L Word Generation Q.
Okay. I didn't watch the new class.
That's the new school shit.
yeah. I have.
You watched the OG.
Yeah, I'm talking about the original L Word with our girl Jennifer Beals from Flashdance.
Oh shit! Okay. All right. Yeah, so you gotta go put the baby to sleep. But everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks
quick question, gents. Would y'all be up for a round of casting the X-Men?
I mean, I've done the video a while, but I gotta touch it up because Army Hammer got canceled, so I would have to.
Let's put a pin in that and come back to that for a full stream.
That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be cool.
I'll be down for that. Yeah.
All right. I will work on some dates and I'll hit y'all up.
Okay.
All right, bet.
Absolutely. BrogiNaric, all things BrogiNaric, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I don't know why I said Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Find me there and follow everybody here on the panel right now, and stay tuned for more. All right, peace,
Peace, guys.
Wakanda forever.